they can announce themselves.
Okay, you are doing it good.
Okay.
Again, bye, namaskar, mu Suchi.
Suchi, welcome. Thanks for joining in. Acha, text call Nagesh Govinda bolikini. He has joined in the other phone. Phone re. He is one of the speaker also for the balance team.
Hello.
Govinda,
can you hear me? Sir? Yes, sir. Musuni Parchi.
अच्छा दिलीप had joined देखुतला इना के कटिगला तेरा ऑडियो टा देखुतला लिंक म्यूट थला इना संगीता
okay
ता ऑडियो टा म्यूट थला राइट नागेश मुतकलो तैना दिलीप पडा
maybe achandi I think he's muted he can speak
नहीं सुनने पर से ऑडियो कनेक्ट हैला
अच्छा थैंक यू दिलीप I'll just 2-3 minutes okay 2-3 minutes मोटे prayer अछि दीटा prayer then we will have you speak first okay
हेलो
so Dilip Pauchi amaro Sunwise Jyotir classmate. He is the superintendent of AIMS Bhubaneswar and we are glad to have him here. So as is the hotbed of this event, so he'll be talking briefly about the status there.
Devasis bhai namaskar.
Namaskar. Kiye kon tike?
Mu Satya from OSA chapter president coach.
Oh Satya, welcome.
Thank you.
Satya is the OSA president in the youth.
हेलो
Yeah, please introduce yourself.
This is the opinion that the college with the what is the time? Then there is a chance after 3 years.
It's 2:01, so Sangeeta, in another 2 minutes we can start, right? People can keep joining. Thank you. So I'm timeless start. I guess we are good. We are good in couple of minutes.
विश्व कहूँ आमर रज सेलिब्रेशन चलती बस्टन चैप्टर रु समस्त गैदरिंग अच्छा सो इट इज प्रिविलेज टू जॉइन दिस मीटिंग तो से मोटे कैमेरा बुले देखै दउची समस्त को समस्त होची देखि पारि
यस मुनो टिके स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करबो को
कर दउ
हाइलाइट कर देले हबो तांको yes we can see them
अगटे कैमरा टिके हॉरिजॉन्टल कर दे बिसो टे कैमरा हॉरिजॉन्टल कर दे thank you all for joining us for the prayers so proud of you all thank you Bishop for doing that very nice in another couple of minutes we'll start and I know it's very tough when you have a picnic but it is so kind of you guys to join for
ठीक है हमें couple of minutes wait करछु समस्त wait करछन
yeah Amara Deepak भी join करछु Deepak Mishra from Florida also has joined he just texted me
yes bhai thank you for that
welcome
Hi Deepak.
hi namaskar
so I mean start कर दो we have now 30 to 34 people keep on coming we can start संगीता let's start मुनुट के म्यूजिक टा प्ले करते हैं हमको तो अच्छा हमको साइड रख स्प्लिट स्क्रीन दे so they will be there with us when we do the Arjun bhai namaskar I now see Nanak bhai namaskar I couldn't see the screen now after that thing was removed I think Author Subhai is there okay Satyabrata I think who else are there Kyle is there Rambhaina is there Suchi is there
नमस्कार
yeah
Namaskar.
good I think okay so Lipsa is there from Atlanta okay good
I think Amrit bhai bhi join करनी Dr. Amrit Patjoshi
अच्छा
welcome
Amit Ochi हमारा psychiatrist from Bhubaneswar and part of our network so he will be helping with the mental counseling that is Let's have Sangeeta, Dr. Sangeeta Pradhan, our OSA Health and Wellness senior member, to start the event.
नमस्कार समस्त को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आसिकरी जॉइन करिसंती आमे आज एकाठी हेचु एई प्रेयर मीटिंग पई नील शैलंक पाखरे प्रेयर ये तांकर सबु देखै दैचंती आ समस्तन को पई सबु अरेंजमेंट करिसंती एंड आई एम ग्रेटफुल फ्रंट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ओडिशा जोटा कि आपण माने सब जानी छंती ऑल इंडिया इंस्टीट्यूट एम्स भुवनेश्वर वाज इन द फोरफ्रंट एंड से माने बहुत काम करचंती वी हैव द सुपरिटेंडेंट फ्रॉम देयर डॉक्टर दिलीप परिडा बट बिफोर वी स्टार्ट ऑल दैट मु हमर सीनियर मेंबर ओसा हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस रो डॉक्टर उमाबल्लभ मिश्र तांकू इनवाइट करिवे हमर प्रेयर मीटिंग स्टार्ट करबा पई आउ तापरे आमे देखिबा आम आडू आमे आउ कोन करि परिबा सेटा भी डिस्कस करिबा उमा भाईना
थैंक यू
अच्छा
अच्छा am I on?
Yes, you are on.
Okay. Actually आज होची हमर जो ट्रेजेडी ट्रेन ट्रेजेडी रो 10म दिन सेठी देश रे सब बहुत भजन कीर्तन चली लोक माने जो मानकर सब आत्मीय माने चली जाइछंती सेमान पे श्राद्ध होची आमे एठी ए प्रेयर मीटिंग सह आमे श्रद्धांजलि दबा से सकाशे मु आरंभ करूची प्रेयर मीटिंग टाकू गोटे मंगलाचरण रो आरंभ करी तापरे भगवान जगन्नाथंकर किछि तापरे शांतिवाणी करबा मंगलाचरण ओम खर्वं सुरतनं गजेन्द्र वदनं लंबोदरं सुंदरं रस्यन्दन्मन्दगन्धलुब्ध मधुपम व्यालोळ गण्डस्थलं दन्ताघात विदारितारि रुदिरे सिन्दूर शोभाकरं वन्दे शैलसुता सुतं गणपति सिद्धिपदं कामदं ओम मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम मधुसूदनम मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलम मरुडध्वज नीलासन निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने सुभद्रा बलभद्र सहिताय श्री जगन्नाथाय मंगलम कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रिये वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् संकल्पं परस्मै नारायणं येति समर्पयामि ओम पूर्णमेवावः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 ओम द्यौः शांतिः अंतरिक्ष शांतिः पृथिवी शांतिः आपः शांतिः औषधाय शांतिः वनस्पतये शांतिः विश्वदेवा शांतिः ब्रह्म शांतिः सर्व शांतिः शांतिरेव शांतिः सामां शांतिः ओम शांतिः 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 ओम सहना वनतु सहनो भुनन्तु सह वीर्यकरवावहै तेजस्विनावधातमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति 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 एटा शेष सब भगवान समस्तंकर मंगल करंतु समस्तंकर जो माने सब वर्तमान पीड़ित अछंती सेमानकर उन्नति हो भगवान सेमानकर सब अक्षत कर दियंतु सेमानंकु एही होची मोर समस्तंक पाखरे कामना थैंक यू Thank you, Sangeeta.
म्यूट अछंती
तो
हाँ हाँ उमका वॉइस सुबुची संगीता आपन टीम म्यूट सुबुची
एबे सुबिला
हाँ
मु इनवाइट करिबी डॉक्टर बसंत महापात्र हमर आउ जने सीनियर मेंबर ओसा हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस रो बसंत भाई ना
Bana mute.
बसंत भाई नमस्कार.
Namaskar. Can you guys hear me?
यस
Yes.
नमस्कार उमा भाईना बहुत बढ़िया मंत्र कले बहुत धन्यवाद तेणु मु आउ आमे मंत्र को न जाय हम तो पीस मंत्र भी कर देले आमे आमे समस्त जानिचु आमे सबुदिन इन देवाशीष माय सेल्फ वी आर ऑल नागेस वी आर इन टच विथ द ओडिशा साइड केमती एससीबी रे हमर इवन ट्रीटमेंट चलची आमे डेली आमे पाउ सर्विस इंफॉर्मेशन तेणु आमे एठी रही मोस्टली आमे दे आर इन आवर थॉट्स प्रेयर्स जो माने ओडिसा रो भी जॉइन कर ताकू मध्यम आमे कहूछ आमे माने तम मानक संग्रह होइछु मु बर्तमान आउ अधिका समय नै मु आई रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर देवाशीष राय आवर चेयरमैन to start the opening remarks and continue the meeting. Devashish.
Sorry,
mute
thank you. Thank you, Basant Bhai. And to start with, I thank all our OSA members, OSA Health and Wellness members, and all ODers who have joined us across the globe from North America, from Odisha, UK, and Australia. So the thing is, I just wanted to give a brief update and the comparison between COVID and this. Our approach why we have this approach where we want to have the OSA members be aware. COVID, when it started, it went through a protected time, and it spread across multiple geographic regions. And when we started working on it, we had time as an organization to think about it, to select vendors, to partners, to vet the process, and we did it over a period of time, 6 to 8 weeks. But this incident is an immediate effect, like in car accident, where we have unfortunately a lot of people who are not lucky enough to survive, and we had a lot of injury. So this was spread across 10 hospitals, and we didn't have time to react as an organization staying far off. But as you know, ODIs and Odisha never fails its brothers and sisters. So the Odisha government and all the ODIs and multiple NGOs have stepped in and done a wonderful job and carrying on this effort. So at this moment, we have been in contact with our ambassadors, with our partners, with our physician partners, with our NGOs, and you will be hearing them, and then you will know why we are in this situation and what we are trying to do. And our most important thing is we want to reach out to each and every OSA members and explain them, justify our actions, our coordinated effort, so that you guys, we are there for you and we'll be working for you, but in a very thorough, cool mind, judiciously, using the trust that you have laid on OSA Health and Wellness. And one more thing I would like to also touch, OSA Health and Wellness has been lucky to have enormous donations from OSA members, OSA Health and Wellness members, and all ODs. And we are very proud and that you guys have trusted us and given us so much of love. But let me tell you one more thing. Come what may, we are here standing as a safeguard on the trust and the money that you have entrusted on us. Each and every dollar will be spent as needed, justified through proper vetting, and each and every OSA members will be able to see there is transparency and will be proud of the work OSA Health and Wellness and OSA members together will join and will do. Please bring in projects. The team will dissect, will discuss on the project, which should be within the ambit of OSA Health and Wellness scope. And once it is clear, you will see the result. Saying that, let's go ahead. And I want you guys to have a brief update on the status of our partners, NGO partners and physician partners, and how we are connected with them, how they are doing us and representing us in Odisha, which many of you may not be aware. To start with, let me call Dr. Dilip Parida, my younger brother, who is the superintendent of AIMS Bhubaneswar, which is the hotbed of this train incident, and where the government of Odisha has decided that the dead bodies will be preserved there till identification. It's a humongous job. And thank you, Dilip, for taking your valuable time out and speaking to our members and audience. It's a global village. We are no more confined by geographic reason. It's a global village. And please go ahead and say a few words. Thanks.
Dev, thank you. Bodamanako namaskar, Sanamanako hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right, thank you. Friday evening, jebe accident hella, ame sedina sandhya bele expect kalu je sabu jaka injured mane patient mane asibe AIMS Bhubaneswar, because AIMS pura state sabu bada hospital. The magnitude of accident ame expect korthulu je nischay jete patient thibe sabu jaka either neurosurgery thibe kimba orthopedics thibe. Same mo director amar trauma emergency faculty mane lagi ki rati sara pura emergency khali karelu charita oti operational karelu ICU bed kam se kam 30 ta karne khali kare ki jo mara stable patient thile taku city shift kare ki ame ready rahe rati pai gala but gote bi patient asleni am pak so ame bhabilu जे लोकल अरेंजमेंट रे बदे पेशेंट रहिले आउ से बने धीरे धीरे ता पर दिन रेफर हेबे किबा शिफ्ट हेबे ता पर दिन 12टा बजला ए पेशेंट असलेनी देन वी वर लिटिल बिट रिलैक्स्ड ये आउ बदे पेशेंट असलेनी जे भी पेशेंट असबे हम पाकु 3-4 दिन पर असबे जेतबेले दरकार पड़िबो किंतु समर अराउंड 2:33 state government to information asla they will be setting those dead bodies जो माने unfortunate incident रे बंची नथले सेही मानको for further preservation identification and handing over to the family जेतबेले आसिला ठीक अछि आमे भी as a hospital actually we are handling that but we are not actually tuned to handle such a great kind of thing. And they were saying somewhere around 190 bodies will be shifted. So immediate amro relaxation band ho gala. Director and as medical superintendent plus core group. Ame jani parlo ni core group banebu ko department nahi ki. So jabi ho आमे जतल बोलिलु आम पाखरे सेतबे थिला 32 ओल्ड चैम्बर फ्रीजर्स इंक्लूडिंग मर्चरी as well as anatomy department आउ किसी आम पाखरे ऑप्शन नथिला to preserve dead bodies so आमे anatomy department रे ही मीटिंग कलु अब सेठी डिसाइड कलु जे जतले को बड़ी आसीबो will receive in 2 places one in mortuary one in anatomy department आउ सेते बेले पई केवल सेति की डिसाइड हला not knowing कि हमें आगे केमती कोन करी तापर धीरे धीरे क्लैरिटी हला संध्या हला सेवन कहले जे bodies will be airlifted कोन केते बेले कहले bodies will be carried in train because train से तो ट्रैक ठीक है नतला ट्रेन चलनतला बट से इनफॉर्म कले जे भद्रक एपट गोटे ट्रेन जीव आउ सब जाक बड़ी एकाथर नहीं के आसीबो कारण एते बड़ी ट्रांसफर करबा भी गवर्नमेंट ପାଇଁ भी गोटे चैलेंज थिला एटा गोटे समस्त ପାଇଁ डिफिकल्ट मोमेंट थिला आउ सेम राति रे अब सब 24 आवर्स से तो हो जाइतला तापरे फाइनली समर अराउंड 11:30 मैसेज असला जे not by air not by train but bodies will come by ambulance on road. So as per the norm 2 bodies per ambulance. So when I decide college 50 ambulances shall come to ends so that we'll get 100 bodies. So I'm 11:30 re first batch of ambulances छोटा ambulance बारला Bahanagaru. So I'm expect to flow for 4.5 hours, somewhere around 3:30 or 4 o'clock. We'll receive those 6 ambulances. The person batch by batch, first 50 bodies ambulances. MC Patel. We started receiving first batch of ambulance somewhere around 3:45 a.m. सेतबले समस्त आसेतले स्टेट गवर्नमेंट मशीनरीज म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन पुलिस समस्त आसेतले प्लस आमे माने हमरो सब जगह स्टाफ स्टूडेंट बिकॉज़ आमे जानि परलु नै जे एते बड़ी केमिते हैंडल हबत क्या हैंडल करियो म समस्त को डके सकली सेतबले स्टूडेंट इंक्लूडिंग अंडरग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट समस्त थे आंबुलांस आसी चलला गोटे पर गोटे सब बड़ी रे सब आंबुलांस रे दुई दुटा बड़ी थे से माने गोटे गोटे तांकर बीएनजी बाहनगा रो गोटे नंबर देथिले आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर आमे ता ऊपर एम्स रो गोटे गोटे बेटर आइडेंटिफिकेशन टाइम आ गोटे गोटे टैग नंबर देलु देखि ताको फर्स्ट रिसीव करहला फेस आउ तरा आउ किसी जदी आइडेंटिटी थिला कार टाटू थिला कार सुता बंदा थिला कार गोड़ थिला गोड़ पे पांच फ्रंट थिला ताको फोटोग्राफ कराला फोटोग्राफ कराई की सिटी मक्सर रे थिला 24 टा रिजर्व ता भीतर रखाला बाकी मु कहितली किसी आइस पाई फिश मार्केट रो so fish ice was supposed to be delivered somewhere around 5:56 से ट्रक आसला तापरे हमें बाकी 26 प्लस 12 टोटल 36 नंबर ऑफ बॉडीज मर्चर रे हमें रखलु रखी तापरे रेस्ट ऑफ द एम्बुलेंसेस वर डाइवर्टेड टू आवर एनाटॉमी डिपार्टमेंट बाकी एनाटॉमी डिपार्टमेंट रे थिला हम पाखरे 12 फ्रीजर ता भीतर जति की बड़ी असला तक हमें रख देलु रखला परे बाकी बड़ी सब फ्लोर रे रहले तापरे आइस पर आइस फोकस चलला से आइस स्लैब ऊपर हम से बड़ी बड़ा रखले टेंपरेचर was going up to I think 45 with humidity more than 90%. हमें देखिलु ए काम चलेला ता नेक्स्ट डे I think 4टा पर्यंत सो समस्त राति निद्रा दिन सारा काम कर चलले आ से बड़ी माने ऑलमोस्ट 30 to 60% प्रोसेस ऑफ डिकम्पोजिशन आरंभ हो जातला ताको हैंडल करके हम छुआ माने सब टोटल एग्जॉस्टेड हो गेले स्टाफ माने सेठी वोमिट को थांती तापर पुणी मोटामोटी के जाकी एनकरेज को थांती कलफाई से माने पुणी आसी काम लागु थांती एमती करके नेक्स्ट डे आई थिंक 4:35 रे सरिला काम किंतु स्टेट गवर्नमेंट हमको इन्फॉर्म कला जे दे विल बी सेंडिंग सम मोर बॉडीज सो फाइनली से राति सारा चलिला एंड वी फाइनली लैंडेड अप विथ 139 बॉडीज आइस दिन रे चारिथर मगावतला से आइस लागुडा सब मोटा मोटा थला किंतु सब मेल्ट हो जातला ता भीतर हमें बॉडी रखी सारा परे दिल्ली रू आसी पहुंचले एक्सपर्ट टीम सब जाक बॉडी रो पोस्टमार्टम चलला एपटे बॉडी रिसीव होता है सेपटे बॉडी रोल थांती बॉडी को नेकी पुणी पोस्टमार्टम करा जाता है ताकि तार रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन होता है फैमिली माने आसुथांती पुलिस तांको आइडेंटिफिकेशन वेरीफाई कला परे पुणी सेवन आसुथांती बॉडी देखुथांती चिन्हुथांती तापरे किसी बॉडी से डिलीवरी भी होता है so there was total multiple activities going simultaneous सेतेबेले कलकत्ता पुलिस बिहार पुलिस रेलवे पुलिस आमर स्टेट पुलिस बीएमसी रेलवे डिपार्टमेंट प्लस किसी एनजीओ एमपी है कि बोधे आम कैंपस भीतर ऑलमोस्ट देयर वर 15-20 कैंप्स फैमिली मैंने आसिक पाखे बसिक रेस्पेक्टिव जगह कथबार्ता होकर आइडेंटिफाई वेरिफिकेशन कला आम पाखे आसिक बॉडी को आइडेंटिफाई करते आइडेंटिफाई कला जो मानकर सब मैच कर डॉक्यूमेंट बॉडी सांगे मिसुला स्टेट पुलिस कोऑर्डिनेट करिकी आमे ताको बॉडी हैंडओवर भी कर कारण आमे चाहनु जो माने इतने डिफिकल्ट टाइम रे इतने दूर सब आसंती समानकर बेसी टाइम समाने अपेक्षा करंतु किंबा ताकि किसी बेसी डिफिकल्टी हो
दिलीप भाई it's really good तमे डिटेल पूरा कहिलो it's really gives a clear picture to everybody. The next thing I think we would like to know how the government has been so crucial in helping and everybody else. And Devashish bhai, any feedback?
Both
मुझे कुछ कि तमरो I mean you guys did a wonderful job. I mean just सुन and thanks Dilip. But I think you guys have a enormous responsibility in keeping those bodies and in having them identified. So kudos and hats off to you. So saying this, I would tell you one thing. We have a surprise plan. We are planning for a disaster relief team in Odisha. So Amar Nanak Bhai, who was professor of surgery in New York, head of the department and trauma surgeon, he will lead the Amaraju process ATLS. Amar AIMS Bhubaneswar, already there is a course that you guys are doing, American Trauma Life Support. So we will start that process in Odisha re, Amar AIMS re and SCB re. So we will talk in detail. So we need help in there to set it up, SCB re or AIMS re. AIMS re, so you guys are there, so we'll talk about it. Kana?
हमें तो एक्चुअली जियंता पेशेंट मानक भाई जहाँ करिवा कथा हमें करूछलु बट this time actually we landed up in a different situation where we had to handle so many dead bodies.
Right. Thank you so much. So let's touch. Thank you, Dilip, and please stay with us. I know you are tired. So next, let me call our superstar, superhero, our ambassador in Odisha, Sabyasachi Misra, the bearded man, who everybody know as Sabya the deer. Go ahead, Sabya.
नमस्कार समस्त को अगेन माने मु आरंभ करिबे आपण मान को थैंक्स दे कि जे एते दूर रे थाई कि ओडिसा रो बाहर थाई कि भी आपण ए बळे गोटे क्राइसिस मोमेंट रे आपण ओडिसा कथा मने पके कि कोन करा जाई परिबो कोन हेची ता विषय गोटे गोटे फोरम रे डिस्कस करिया पे आपण समस्त एकाठी हिचंती सेटा गोटे बहुत बड़ कथा एटा गोटे एमिति गोटे ट्रेजेडी एमिति गोटे सिचुएशन जोटा बोधे बहुत लोगों को शॉक करछि बहुत लोगों को माने जो माने हैंडल करचंती से माने तो देखि जंदी कोन हेछि जो माने हैंडल करि नांती भी जो माने सुनुचंदी से मान को भी माने गोटे ताको कोनोसी कथा माने भाबी परिबेन जे एमिति सिचुएशन हेई पारे आ से दिन राति रे भी जते बेले ए इंसिडेंट हैला फर्स्ट मते जतले जाना पड़ला तार जाना पड़िबार गोटे 40 मिनिट्स भितरे मते गोटे फोन आसला मो पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट रु गोटे रिक्वेस्ट आसला जे सभ्य सेई जगह रे क्राउड भर्ती ही गलेनी लोक माने खाली देखिबा पई जाउचंती आउ एते क्राउड ही गलेनी एते पार्किंग करके जगह को एते ब्लॉक कर दिचंती जे गोटे ग्रीन कॉरिडोर ही पारुनी हम एम्बुलेंस किंबा इमरजेंसी सर्विस रो जगह गाड़ी वाला जाई पारुनांदी तो मु तापर से पे इमीडिएटली गोटे वीडियो करतली जे लोकल लोक मानन को रिक्वेस्ट करकी जे एटलीस्ट माने दिस इज नॉट समथिंग व्हिच वी शुड सी एटलीस्ट वी शुड बी केयरफुल कि हमें कहार रास्ता को कोड इमरजेंसी सर्विस व्हीकल एम्बुलेंस हला कि उड्राफ रो टीम हला कि अन्य कोनोसी इमरजेंसी व्हीकल को हमें अटकेबा कथा नुहे हमर अजाणतरे लेट्स क्लियर द रोड्स बोली गोटे तापरे संगे संग गोटे सेही एक्सीडेंट 1 आवर भितरे गोटे वीडियो अपलोड करला परे तापरे किंतु गोटे कथा होची जे बालेश्वर जो लोकल वॉलंटियर्स से माने जो रेट रे तांकर माने डेयरिंग देखैचंती गोटे वॉलंटियर्स देखैचंती तांका पई बोली बहुत लोक रक्षा पाइचंती सेही सिचुएशन रु अवश्य किछिटा जिंस हम सुनिया पाइलु जे जेहेतु से माने ट्रेन्ड वॉलंटियर्स नुहंती तो जो इंजर्ड पेशेंट्स मानको केते केयरफुली बाहर करंती से माने जानि नांती तो कोडी भिड़ देचंती कोडी बाहर कर देचंती सेमिति किछिटा माइन्यूट माने किछिटा इंजुरी इंक्रीज हेची किंतु लोकल लोक मानकर डेडिकेशन बहुत बढ़िया थिला खाली सेति कि नुहे से माने ब्लड डोनेशन राताराती जो प्रकार बालेश्वर और लोकल एरिया भद्रक रे राताराती जो प्रकार ब्लड डोनेशन पे लाइन लागितला सेटा तो बोधे एंटायर वर्ल्ड को पूरा स्तब्ध कर दितला जे एते माने ग्रेट हीरोज अछन ओडिसा रे बोली आ तापरे इमिडिएटली बॉडीज को अपन माने सुनले सर भी कहले केमिति ट्रीटमेंट पई तापर तांकर इमीडिएट केमदी मेडिकल अटेंशन मिलियो बोली तांको संगे संग बॉडी को डिफरेंट डिफरेंट हॉस्पिटल को ट्रांसफर करा हला आउ सेठी अगेन गोटे बहुत बड़ चैलेंज जोटा कि मो पई आस्तिला सेटा होची राती रे माने जो दिन एक्सीडेंट हेतला से दिन ता पर दिन 2 दिन जाको बहुत गुडे फैमिली रिलेटिव्स जेहेतु सोशल मीडिया रे हमको फॉलो करंती तो से माने तांको रिलेटिव्स मानक डिटेल पठौथिले जे आमे हम रिलेटिव कथा ही परनु से बंचिछि कि तार कोन हेछि आमे जानि परनु आ बहुत लोकंकर मोबाइल तांको पाखे नथिला चार्ज नथला जे से माने नेक्स्ट डे भी कथा ही परिबे कि काकू माने जणै परिबे जे हम घर लोक कथा करि दंतु माने बहुत जन कोमारे थिले सीरियस थिले तो सेमिति बहुत गुडे पेशेंट कर फैमिली मेंबर्स माने सोशल मीडिया जो माने कांटेक्ट करथिले तांकू हमें पुलिस आ रेड क्रॉस आ लोकल वॉलंटियर्स मानकर हेल्प रे हमें तांकू आइडेंटिफाई करबा प्रोसेस रे किछि मात्रा रे हमें हेल्प करि परथिलु आ सेकेंड डे ऑनवर्ड्स कोन हला ना लोकल वॉलंटियर्स किंबा जो माने एनजीओस मानक रोल बहुत लिमिटेड ही गला कना गवर्नमेंट चाहिए जे सब तक प्रॉपर माने जो आर्मी किंबा उड्राफ्ट ए केयर ऑफ सब हो बोली से माने सब तक को रेस्ट्रिक्टेड कर देले तो लोकल वॉलंटियर्स मानकर माने जो गोटे हेल्प करिवार गोटे जो इच्छा थिला सेटा आउ बेसी माने जाई परलानी आगु किंतु अगेन माने हमरो गोटे बहुत बड़ इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहला जो एम्बुलेंस टी हमर अछि ओसा हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस जो डोनेशन अछि एम्बुलेंस टी सेही एम्बुलेंस रे हमें भुवनेश्वर को आसिला परे बहुत गुडे पेशेंट किबा कटक को आसिला परे बहुत गुडे पेशेंट को हमें हेल्प करि परलु तांको डिस्चार्ज समय हैला कि तांकर आ गुटे कोनोसी जाग को शिफ्ट करिवा समय हैला बहुत गुडे ब्लड डोनर माने जो माने ब्लड डोनेट करिया पई चाहुथिले हमको सोशल मीडिया रे कहते तांको हमें विभिन्न ब्लड बैंक पाखरे पहुंचे बारे हैला सेमती जगह रे हमें तांको हेल्प कलु किंतु ओवरऑल आफ्टर सेकंड डे थर्ड डे इवन हॉस्पिटल गुडा को भी हमें खबर पाइलु जे बहुत लोक जाउचंती जो माने कि जेन्युइनली हेल्प करचंती आ ताठू 90% जो माने जाउचंती केवल फोटो उठेया पई जाउचंती आ गोटे पैकेट बिस्कुट गोटे एप्पल देकरी अजथरे हॉस्पिटल रे पूरा ओवर क्राउडेड करचन जोटा किछि आवश्यकता नथिला तो सेटा को अगेन आखिर रखि कि हमें हमर वॉलंटियर्स मानन को रेस्ट्रिक्ट कलु जे हॉस्पिटल को जाओनी अजथरे अनलेस एंड अंटिल देयर इज अ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ब्लड और रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ किछि गोटे अर्जेंट जदी किछि नाही तो सेमती रे तापरे एबे भी वर्तमान आम संगे बर्तन डॉक्टर अमृत पाटजोशी अच्छंती जे कि
गोटे क्वेश्चन खाली पचारिबी बिफोर यू गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन do you think we need any financial there is any need for financial help at this time
to be very frank everything is taken care by the government even dead body माने जो माने अन्य स्टेट को जाउचंती तांकर आइडेंटिफिकेशन प्रोसेस परे ताकू भी गवर्नमेंट दउचंती पूरा एम्बुलेंस सहित सब तक सपोर्ट दिया होची तो वर्तमान पॉइंट रे मते लागुनी जे आ तापर आउड कथा होची इट्स ऑलरेडी 10 days 12 days हे गलानी तो जो माने पहुंचीबा कथा जिबा कथा आसीबा कथा जहां भी प्रोसेस ता गोटे ऑलमोस्ट गोटे टुवर्ड्स एंड आसी गलानी एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम आमर गोटे बहुत बड़ किछि रेस्पोंसिबिलिटी नाही खाली गोटे जिंस जोटा कि एबे भी माने आगु को हबो सेटा होची एबे जेमति सपोज एससीबी रे बहुत गुडे पेशेंट एबे भी ट्रीट होचंती कि अन्य अन्य हॉस्पिटल रे ट्रीट होचंती तो विभिन्न रिपोर्टर्स मानक थ्रू रे प्लस हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ मानक थ्रू रे इंडिविजुअल यूनिक केसेस आसुची जेमति के बे रिसेंटली गोटे बिहार रो गोटे माइग्रेंट लेबर जहार कि केवल गोटे माने मां अछि तार बापा नै कि नथि यंग पिलाटे से 4000 5000 टंका पाउथला मासकु तार गोड़ पूरा खराब हो जाइए गोड़ रे रड लगी एससीबी रे ट्रीट होची ताकू डर अच्छी जे सी जदि तांकर बिहार को पळेबो बिहार रे ताकू एतिकी भलो केयर मिलिबो नाही आउ बिहार को जीवा पई ताकू गवर्नमेंट तरफ रु ताकू गोटे दिया आइची ट्रेन टिकेट तो सी एते ट्रॉमाटाइज्ड अवस्था अछि जे सी आउ ट्रेन रे बसी के जीवार स्थिति रे नाही तो आमे माने मते जो माने जो रिपोर्टर कॉल कले से मते कहले जे सभ्य कैन यू हेल्प इन प्रोवाइडिंग वन एम्बुलेंस काना से पिलार जो अवस्था अछि से वर्तमान जाई परिबोनी ट्रेन रे आ तार मेंटली भी से ट्रेन रे बस परिबोनी तो ताकू एम्बुलेंस दे परिबा की तो मु ताकू संगे संगे कहली ठीक अछि हम स्माइल प्लीज एम्बुलेंस जो अछि सेतरे हमें ताकू पठे दी परिबा तो एमिति किछिटा इंडिविजुअल केसेस अछि जोथरे के माने कनेक्टेड टू तांकर जो रिहैबिलिटेशन की तांकर पोस्ट ट्रॉमेटिक ऑपरेशंस जो उडाको ताकू छाड़ देले मते लागुनी जे माने विशेष किछि हमर रहिबो इन्वॉल्वमेंट फाइनेंशियली किंतु यस देखंतु जे एबे बहुत लोकंकर घर पूरा कहया गले जो माने सोल ब्रेड अर्नर थिले से माने तांकर डेथ हो जाइछि कार वर्किंग कंडीशन रे से नहांती तो सेमिति किछि फैमिली को आइडेंटिफाई करके सेमिति किछि स्टूडेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करके तांको किछि गोटे जदि रिहैबिलिटेशन पे हमें किछि हेल्प कर परिबा दैट कैन बी डन किंतु एबे बहुत एनजीओ गवर्नमेंट लेवल रे एते फंडिंग और एते हेल्प दिया हिची और दैट टू लिमिटेड नंबर जेतु अछंती आ बहुत गुडे जगह रु से माने हेल्प पाउचंती तो सेमती गोटे अर्जेंसी मते देखा जाउनी किंतु मु रिक्वेस्ट करिया पई चाहिबी जे एई भले एक्सीडेंट्स केबे कहि के आसेनी ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आसे राताराती आसे तो आमो पाखरे जेतु एवरीवन इज सो इंटरेस्टेड एंड कीन इन हेल्पिंग लेट्स प्लान फॉर समथिंग जोटा कि नेक्स्ट एक्सीडेंट पई हमें एबेठू रेडी थिबा माने विदाउट गोइंग फॉर अ मीटिंग विदाउट आस्किंग फॉर एनीवन्स हेल्प हमें इमीडिएट विदिन 24 आवर्स जदि हमें गोटे किछि एक्शन प्लान को हमें कन्वर्ट कर परिबा सेटा बहुत इंपैक्टफुल हबो और बहुत माने लोकन को हेल्प करिवो इन जेन्युइन सेंस तो सेटा पई
काइंड ऑफ इमरजेंसी और डिजास्टर
या
यस
सेटा हमर प्लान अछि हमें लास्ट रे कहबो एंड ताको विल
अच्छा
प्रेजेंट
मु खाली एठी टिके लीड दवा पई चाहिबी डॉक्टर अमृत पाट जो से अछंती जे कि इनफैक्ट वर्तमान जो पोजीशन अछि हमर जो डेड बॉडी एबे भी पाखा पाखी 80+ डेड बॉडीज अछन जो मानको की आइडेंटिफिकेशन हेई पारि नाही आ तार जो डेड बॉडी मैनेजमेंट रो जो कोर टीम टी अछि बीएमसी रो हमर कुलांगे सर हले कि अन्य मानकर जो हम बीएमसी कमिश्नर सर तांको कोर टीम रे जे अछंती से अछन अमृत भाईना त आ हाईटेक हॉस्पिटल रे भी जो पेशेंट किबा डेड बॉडी आस्तले तांको भी से क्लोजली मॉनिटर करथिला और पोस्ट ट्रॉमेटिक काउंसलिंग किबा विभिन्न प्रकार जिनस रे भी से इन्वॉल्व अछंती तो शॉर्ट रे जदि से किछि हमको इनपुट देई परिबे इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल अमृत भाई
एब्सोल्युटली I welcome Amrit Patjoshi, my younger brother, and he has been a champion in COVID project also, and we love him dearly, and he is a celebrity in Bhubaneswar. So welcome Amrit to the team, and thanks for being part of the network. Go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead.
भाई मैं तो गोवा रे थी जेतले छुट्टी माने जो एक्सीडेंट विषय सुनली वी इमीडिएटली रश बैक सो हमें मल्टीपल एरिया रे फंक्शन करछ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो जेतु गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स रे रखिसंती एनजीओस मन को बहुत बेसी रोल की इनपुट देई नांती तो बट वी हैव मैनेज्ड टू हेल्प अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ पीपल ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप्स हमें दिचांटा करछु भलो भलो डेड बॉडी मैनेजमेंट रे आई हैव बीन इन द कोर कमिटी इफ यू लुक एट द हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी हम ओएसएमसी रे चेयरमैन उमा मैडम अछंती वेरी वेरी क्लोज टू ऑल सजेशंस इंक्लूडिंग aims जो activity state government has been working very efficiently. Let me be very honest. But company चलाती मन चलौचंदी every even capital hospital दियंतु aims being the forefront they have taken all the from the body रा चालान हो रेलवे एजीडीसी मीटिंग करिवा राती मीटिंग 3टा 4टा पर्यंत डी एनालिसिस नबा एम्बाल्मिंग करिवा bodies were not in very good condition and we are lucky that aims could manage all these things तांकर गोटे टीम आसिले दे माने राती 4टा 5टा 6टा राती काम करछंदी एंड किछि बॉडीज तो एम्ति कंडीशन थिला कि फॉर्मली हम जो पकेछु बॉडी फाटी के बाहर पड़छि सर जानि थिबे माने दिलीप भाई जानि थिबे कि हाउ डिफिकल्ट इट हैज बीन फॉर देम मैनेज दोस थिंग्स जोडे मारले कोडी जीवो सेंटर लोक आछंती स्टेट लोक आछंती केटासल रहउची I think they were very very well so Taji also I was in an interview where people are having a lot of post traumatic stress disorder so I have already talked with the government people that if you need any help we are there until unless they don't give us the green signal we cannot enter a government hospital and do things, because SC they have formed teams. AIMS they have got wonderfully coordinated teams. Plus another thing mu sabbe sai katha houtli, now loko body claim kariya ta cost hoibo, because gote body pai 5 jana achanti aw kichi body pai kehi na claimant. Delhi by janithibe, a lot of DNA analysis are going on because of that. So we have also volunteered that ame if required cremation is the help kari pariba, we are there to help. I have already talked with them that we as an organization are ready to work with you in terms of the post rehabilitation help darkar, PTSD बहुत common, psychological health and death जो मैंने experience करते थे accident जो मैंने exist for long now, months to years now. So help करचु plus किसी भी need अच्छी, I have been talks with the government कि आपने जल्दी भी if you feel that we can move in, you please tell us. We are always there to be with you in whatever mode you want us to be. So say suppose I say सबुदिन मोर साथ discussion होची. So we have conveyed the same to the government. I hope if they need something, they get back to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amrit, for doing a great job as a psychiatrist and helping people. And I know how you helped us in COVID. We are proud of you. So let's go and touch here quickly some of our other OSA HW affiliates who are in touch with us and coordinated. And then we'll hear from the Balesur team. And that's very important, the local team that has been helping and making a change in this local problem. So let's call in Elena Samantrai, our OSA SW affiliate, and hear what she did, so that people know that our OSA HWG affiliates are in action there. Go ahead.
Samastanku namaskar. I'm the newest member, and I feel really privileged ki ete gote esteemed organization, ete gote esteemed gathering re mu aji I can be a part of it. So thank you so much to everyone. Mu samastankar katha sunuthili and I'm really inspired. Actually Dev Bhaina and Sabya only knows that I am an animal activist. Mo pai mu jo kama eithara e train tragedy re jaha bi mora choto gote rahithila prayas seita mo pai bahut nua, and because I was very much touched, I was very much affected by the train tragedy. Sethi pai mu prayas kali kichi gote mo tarafru gote prayas ho jota ki help hobo jo mane injured achandi, jo mane nijo lokon ko harai chandi tanko pai. Mo apana samastanko katha sunuthili and bahut inspired heli and bahut kichi jani paku paili samastankar discussion ru. More bas etiki rahibo mane mu more experience share kariba ku chahibi. Eithara train tragedy 2nd of June evening 7 janibaku mu janibaku paili setabale hella, and sange sange actually live news asila and I was watching news channels dekhuthili and mu janibaku paili mane gote moment re mate I really got tears. Eta gote emiti gote situation hi jaithila jota ki handle kariba gote normal loko pai jo mane dekhu chanti tanko pai handle kariba difficult thila. So I understand jo mane affected, jo mananko family affected, jo mane injured tanku tase mane ko situation de ki gati karuthibe. So mu kebe more actually mu kebe kichi माने मु सब बळे क्लूलेस थाई सब सिचुएशन रे कोन करा हबो प्रेयर्स ही मु भाबे जे आई थिंक सबुठु जो माने किछि करि परिबेन एटलीस्ट वी कैन प्रे फॉर द गुड, किंतु एथर आई थॉट ऑफ डूइंग समथिंग एंड यू ऑब्वियसली समस्तंग इंस्पिरेशन नेक एंड आई थॉट कि जोटा जो बालेश्वर लोकल लोक जो कामटा से मोमेंट रे करी थिले सेटा सबुठु अधिक मते इंस्पायर्ड कला. जो राती रे एक्सीडेंट हेथिला से राती रे जो मात्रा रे लोक माने जाइन कि बिकॉज़ सेही मोमेंट रे सबुठु बड़ अर्जेंसी थिला ब्लड, तो जो माने लोकंकर जेमति सुओ छुटी थिला से बालेश्वर स्पेशली जगह रे जदी कहबी लोक ब्लड दबा पई जेमति लाइन लगै थिले सेटा देखि कि मु एक्चुअली मो इच्छा कली जे जदी हमें किछि करि परिबा छोटो रो छोटो स्टेप टे भी करि परिबा. आई थिंक से मोमेंट रो सबुटु बड़ अर्जेंसी को जदी हमें टिके भी आखिरे रखी किछि काम करि परिबा सेटा सबुटु फ्रूटफुल हबो आ सेटा ही मो करबा को चेष्टा करिथिली. 3rd of June I planned late afternoon I thought of doing something, and I'm jemte mo कहली मु बहुत नुआ एंड मु किछि एमती रिस्पांसिबिलिटी आगु नहीं नथिली सो 2nd 3rd ऑफ जून रे आफ्टरनून रे मु भाबिली जे कोन करी हबो मु रेड क्रॉस टीम सहित रेड क्रॉस भुवनेश्वर र टीम सहित मु कथा हेली एंड मोर टीम आमे चेष्टा कलु किछि गोटे करि परिबु रेड क्रॉस टीम तरफ रु आम पई गोटे स्टेटमेंट थिला जे जदी आपण कैंप पे बसौचंती एटलीस्ट जदी हमकु मिनिमम 100 यूनिट आपण देई पारु नांती देन इटा हमर किछि काम रे आसीबनी कैंप सो आर यू श्योर बिकॉज आम पाखरे बहुत कैंप माने राइट नाउ वी नीड ब्लड सो वी नीड एमती कैंप जे कि हमकु अधिक रु अधिक अमाउंट ऑफ यूनिट हमकु प्रोवाइड करि पारुथबो सो आई माने सेही मोमेंट रे मोर एक्शन स्टार्ट करली एंड आई जस्ट गोटे पोस्ट मु छाडीली मो सोशल मीडिया रे because I really wanted to help and I really want कि ए कैंप रु हमें जितने मात्रा जदि हमें as a public figure जदि सही माने हमर सही फेज र माने वैल्यू टाक जदि हमें ई टाइम रे यूज न करि परिबा then there is no use of being there जो सिचुएशन रे हमें अछु तो I thought of putting a post मो सोशल मीडिया रे मोर पोस्ट गोटे पकेली अर्जिंग एवरीवन टू कम एंड डोनेट ब्लड एंड वी कैन हेल्प एससीबी स्पेशली बिकॉज रेड क्रॉस भवन रो ब्लड टा एससीबी हॉस्पिटल रे दिया जाउथला एंड रेड क्रॉस कटक रे पहुंचबार थिला एंड सो हमें से गोटे मो पोस्ट पकेली एंड नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग I reached there at around 8 o'clock in the morning and I was actually बहुत touched he गली जे ओडिसा रे जेतो बेले भी किछि गोटे दुर्घटना हेछि आमे देखि आसी चंती नेचुरल डिजास्टर हो किछि कैलामिटीज हो एमती एक्सीडेंट्स हो सब बेले सारा ओडिसा एक हेछि आ एथर भी समस्त सेटा देखि देले बिकॉज़ सखाळ 8 रु नै कि कंटीन्यूअसली संध्या 6:30 जाए हमर कैंप रे पूरा माने विश्वास हबनी जेमती भिड़ थिला मु तार क्लिप्स आपन सहित शेयर करि परिबी एंड सो say to mane I got the inspiration ki mane eta hi darkar and we collected at around 660 units so eta am pai mo pai gote bahut bada mane challenge thila je kete matra kete adhika ame units collect kari paru and we did it and finally red cross team also mane congratulated us ki mane ei jo aji jeti ki ame collection kolu because ta purbo dino shahid sorry ता पूर्व दिन शहीद नगर दुर्गा मंडप पाखरे आई गेस तांकर गोटे कैंप लागिथिला जोथरे कि पूरा दिन से माने 104 यूनिट्स कलेक्ट करथिले जोति पाई कि तांको अर्जेंसी थिला ब्लड रो सो सेही दिन रो कलेक्शन तांको बहुत हेल्प करिथिला जहा हमें जानिबा को पाइलु फ्रॉम द रेड क्रॉस टीम एंड that made me feel very very happy and it could happen because of all the inspiration that जो बालेश्वर रे लोक माने एंड सारा ओडिसा वासी एक्चुअली से मोमेंट रे मु जानिबा को पाइली रेड क्रॉस माने एक्चुअली जति की भी कैंप सारा ओडिसा रे करा जाउतला सबुठी बहु मात्रा रे लोक आसुतले मु जानिबा को पाइली जे हमर जति की दरकार ब्लड वी हैव एक्चुअली कलेक्टेड से एक्सीडेंट पई जति की दरकार जति की हॉस्पिटल्स रु जहा रहुतला डिमांड ताकू कंप्लीट करा जाईची जति मु जानी ची इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग एंड आल्सो ऑल द डॉक्टर्स वर वेरी वेरी हैप्पी विद द एक्शन जोटा कि सारा ओडिसा नीथिला सो ई छोटिया प्रयास टी मोर थिला एंड जोटा कि बहुत सक्सेसफुली वी डिड इट एंड सो एटा मोर गोटे छोटिया प्रयास ला एंड आई थिंक ए छोटिया प्रयास जगु आज मु गोटे एमिति गोटे जगह रे आसी आपण मानक साथ कथा बर चांस पछु जो माने आपण माने केते जे सिचुएशन एमती हैंडल करिथिबे एंड केते लोकन को हेल्प करिथिबे सेति पई प्रथमे समस्त को धन्यवाद एंड एटा मोर छोटिया प्रयास ला जोटा कि मु चाहिए आपण मानक साथ शेयर करबा पई थैंक यू सो मच देव भाईना फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी टू दिस वेरी वेरी esteemed place and I'm really really grateful to everyone.
Thank you and thanks Sabya also. Elena uchi hamar sano bauni she is so inspired. She is a leading movie actress and she is inspired by Sabya and Archita, our ambassadors, and they are very close and she is so passionate. The animal Chadiki, she was literally crying and when we needed blood she has single-handedly with her family and with Sabya's and Archita's blessings she did a wonderful, she collected 260 blood when it was needed, so it is praiseworthy and thank you. I am looking forward to
in fact red cross भी बहुत प्रेज करथिला से एफर्ट को red cross रे समस्त बहुत प्रेज करथिले. It was a great effort, Elena.
Thank you
so much. Thank you so much.
So let's hear from our partner, my home city boy, my Sahi boy, Sanjay Agarwal, Lions Petal Club. He had done a great job during our COVID project in Cuttack and Bhubaneswar there. I want you guys to hear from him what he did and how we coordinated. So though OSA Health and Wellness have not collected money, but our network and partners and physicians have done tremendous job and they represent us there. Go ahead, Sanjay. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Debai. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର। ଯେତେବେଳେ 6:45 ରେ ଏ ଇଭେଣ୍ଟଟା ହେଲା ପାଖାପାଖି ଆମେ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର ହଉ ରାତି 10ଟା ହେଇଗଲା and at around 10 o'clock we had a zoom meeting and ସବୁଠୁ ବଡ କ୍ରାଇସିସ୍ ଥିଲା ସେତେବେଳକୁ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱରରେ ପାଣିର ଅଭାବ ଥିଲା because ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଭଦ୍ରକ ନିୟରେଷ୍ଟ ସେଠି କୌଣସି ବି ୱାଟର ପ୍ଲାଣ୍ଟ ନାହିଁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଯେତିକି ସେଠି ଲୋକ ଗଦା ହେଇଯାଇଥିଲା ଆଉ ଯେତିକି ରିକ୍ୱାରମେଣ୍ଟ ଥିଲା ଫର୍ଷ୍ଟ we decided କି ଆମେ କଟକରୁ ରାତିରେ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରକ୍ ପାଣି ପଠେଇଲୁ which मतलब जोड़ा कि 4 घंटा रे पहुंचवा कथा बट ट्रैवल टाइम वाज सो माने एते अधिका सकाळ 6टा रे जाई कि से गाड़ी पहुंचिला सेठी जोड़ा कि 3.5 घंटा 4 घंटा भीतर पहुंचवा कथा बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली माने एते क्राउड थिला कि सकाळ 6टा रो जाई सेठी पहुंचिला बट इन ता परे सबुड बड़ थिला कि हम पाखरे तळे कटक रे पेशेंट्स कुड आसीबे नेक्स्ट डे कोन हला जो दिन सैटरडे एंड संडे माने एवरी मिनिट सैटरडे आफ्टरनून पर एवरी मिनिट कटक रे पेशेंट्स आसीबा आरंभ हो जाइतिले आउ जो ब्लड पाई जो लोकंकर भिड़ थिला रेड क्रॉस रे हो किंबा हमर एससीबी रो ब्लड बैंक रे हो डॉक्टर्स और तांको टीम से माने तांको चेयर रो हली पार नथिले सो सबुड बड़ जिंस थिला कि हमकु हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ को हेल्प करिबा वी एंड आवर टीम फर्स्ट सर्व टिफिन पैकेट्स माने इवन इफ मु कहबी बरा सिंगड़ा एमती आमे आलुचप करी कि वी सर्व देम एंड दे वर सो हैप्पी बिकॉज़ तांका पाखरे सेतिक जिंस भी पहुंची पारु नतला एंड दे वर हेल्पलेस कि सेमान तांका ड्यूटी छाडी के बाहर की जाई पारु नतले सो फर्स्ट 2 दिन रो हमर थिला कि माने डॉक्टर और टीम को तांकर जो स्टाफ को हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ को हेल्प करिबा 2 दिन परे जेतोल सेठी लोक माने बिकॉज़ एससीबी रे कोन होला पेशेंट ट्रीटमेंट होतिले आ तांकर परिवार लोक आसीबार होतला माने इट वाज ओवर क्राउडेड एससीबी वाज ओवर क्राउडेड सेठी लोकंकर जो लोक बाहरु आस्थिले माने से माने से मेंटल कंडीशन रे नहांती कि बाहर को जाई कोठी खाइबे कोन करिवे तांका पई वी अरेंज्ड कुक्ड फूड फॉर देम वी सर्वड कुक्ड फूड तापर जेमती हमको हॉस्पिटल स्टाफ कोतले जेमती लास्ट यस्टरडे तांको बाल्टी आ मग फर्स्ट आमे कोन कलु जो दिन सैटरडे दिन जतो पेशेंट आसी पहुंचले ऑल द पेशेंट्स वर विथ कैथेटर और तांका पाखु घोड़ेया पई बेडशीट नथिला इमीडिएटली वी अरेंज्ड 300 बेडशीट्स बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली मानको 100-150 बेडशीट हेडी लागिला बट इमीडिएटली हेडी हॉस्पिटल पाखरे एते बेडशीट भी नथिला कि माने पेशेंट मानको कवर करिया पई so 300 bedsheets immediately it was arranged all the patients were in catheter एबे जो करंट सिचुएशन अच्छी आमे देखुछु जहाँ हॉस्पिटल संगे आमे तांकर वार्ड रे समस्त संगे इन टच रे अछु किछि पेशेंट्स एमती अछंती जहाँ को हमको अभी दरकार कैलिपर्स आर्टिफिशियल लिम्स व्हील चेयर्स जो माने माने आउट ठिया हेई परिबे नाही एमती बहुत पेशेंट अछन जहाँ को व्हील चेयर दरकार सो दे हैव रिक्वेस्टेड एंड वी आर ट्राइंग locally we will help them 5टा 6टा wheelchair and they have माने said us to give them calipers जो clutches दवा पई so which is a need of the hour now एबे कोन ए जो पेशेंट गुडा धीरे धीरे ठीक होजन गवर्नमेंट हैज डन a lot गवर्नमेंट तांको बहुत हेल्प करची माने जति जिंस दोची बट ए जो छोट छोट जिंस गुडा आमे तांको हेल्प करि परिबा and we can do a great thing
Thank you Sanjay for the wonderful job and we'll keep on doing this. Thanks for coming. So I think Joyant has not reached here. He's in Calcutta, so he could not connect. I think Wi-Fi nice. So we'll skip that. We'll go to our Mr. Govinda Dalai. I want you guys to hear him. Yuva Vikas Foundation from Balasore. And thanks for being here. Actually, he was in the airport, supposed to go to the airport. Sorry, Sanjay, because people wanted to talk and explain, how things worked out. Go ahead.
धन्यवाद देवाशीष सर मु रिक्वेस्ट करी मोर टीम मेंबर को होस्ट को परमिशन नहीं कि टिके स्क्रीन शेयर करिवे व्हाइल डूइंग दैट आई थिंक एवरीबॉडी इज कंफर्टेबल इन ओडिया सर ऑल ऑफ देम ओके सो ई समस्त कथा जो मोर प्रीवियस स्पीकर्स माने कहउथिले गोटे फिजिकल इंजुरी रो कथा कहउथिले एवं अमृत पाटजोशी सर किछिटा जो इमोशनल इंजुरी बा साइकोलॉजिकल इंजुरी कथा कहते आमे से दिन आमर वॉलंटियर सहित स्पॉट रे थिलु इट हैड बीन ए वेरी टफ टाइम एक्चुअली ए प्रकार रो डिजास्टर को आमे गोटे एकेडमिक टर्म्स रे सेंट्रीफ्यूगल डिजास्टर कहू जो थिरे प्रिफरेबली जो लोक माने इंपैक्टेड होंती they are not from a single community but they are gathered together by a chance like the 2611 हो कि आमरी फायर विक्टिम होंतु यार इम्पैक्ट बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म सम आमे जो सर्वाइवर्स मानकर interactions karichu from an academic point of view it goes beyond this immediate response which tries to reduce the physical harm so जो मु एठू टिके नेबी जे गोटे सिनारियो मैपिंग पाई नेबी जे आमे माने जो दिन हला एक्सीडेंट से दिन सेठी पहुंची थिलु जदि बाटा टिके रिपीटेटिव होबो अप टू 10:30 जो chaos थिला 6:45 टू 10:30 without any electricity only किछटा बैटरी operated light जळुथिला it was similarly haunting for the rescue workers and सबुठु दुखर कथा जे 80 to 100 किलोमीटर दूर रे खड़गपुर ये थाई कि मेडिकल वैन जोटा इमरजेंसी केयर आपण कोन हेइथला कि आपण को 7टा बगी 2टा ट्रेन रो जोटा को कैप्साइज हेइथला तो आमे कोन कलु इमीडिएटली आमे गोटे शाउट आउट कलु जे वी नीड ऑनलाइन काउंसलर्स एवं टीस एवं निम्हांस रु पाखापाखी 37-38 जन काउंसलर आमे आईआरसीटीसी रु टिके कनेक्शन नै कि आमे भाबलु जे एवरीबॉडी इज इंपैक्टेड इन ए वे दोज हु आर नॉट आल्सो कैप्साइज्ड और डिरेल्ड तो आमे जो रैंडम कॉल कलु 24 आवर 36 आवर भितरे आमे रीच आउट कलु 1700 प्लस पैसेंजर को टू सी कि जो माने भी कंपार्टमेंट रे अछंती घरे पहुंची परले कि सो एठी बट व्हाइल सेइंग दिस जो चारिटा जनरल कंपार्टमेंट पूरा जो तार जतले छिंडिला सेमानकर जस्ट कला पड़ी थांती कोनोसी फिजिकल इंजुरी न थाय बट दे आर डेड तो जो माने केवल छिटकी की पड़ी थिले बा दे वर अवे फ्रॉम द वेयर्स सो से माने ही केवल आमे जो मन को इंजर्ड बोली आलोचना करछु आउ ऑब्वियसली किछटा स्लीपर क्लास गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन सो आमे इठी एबे जो हमरो जो इमीडिएट थला जेहेतु आमे बालेश्वर एवं ए एक्सीडेंट साइट ता हार्डली 15 किलोमीटर ये आमे कोन कलु कि जो माने सर्वाइव करूचंती सेमानंकर जो आईआरसीटीसी रे पीएनआर नंबर परे नंबर्स थाई सेगुडा प्राइस स्विच ऑफ होतला बा किसी जनकर एक्टिव थिला तो आमे कोन कलु कि सेमानंकर नियर एंड डियर काई ना हॉस्पिटल रे कैओटिक कंडीशन जेमती बहुथले परिडा सर जे ता पर दिन इवनिंग पर्यंत भी जाई नथिला कोनोसी पेशेंट दैट मींस से समय रे एटा को बहुत लागे जे psychosocial care is still a elite class requirement not for the migrant workers but ei prakararo sudden death বা sudden injury आमे feel कलु आमे great numbers रे mobiles नै कि तांकर near and dear मान को कॉल करिबा तांको स्क्रीन रे तांको परिवार सहित कथा करेबा ए कामटा को आमे massive scale रे कलु so yes private hospital ज्योति hospital एठी जेहेतु on the way to बालेश्वर थिला सेठी भी से माने मासिव स्केल रे तांकर केयर नै थिले आ द्वितीय कथा होची जेहेतु गवर्नमेंट रे गोटे प्रोसीजर थाई कि से माने प्रथमे जो पाखरे हॉस्पिटल जाती तो सरो आ गोपालपुर रे गुडाई लोक को नेहिला कहिना बालेश्वर एति की इंटेक कैपेसिटी नथिला तो एई सब घटना भितरे आमे एबे फील करूचु जते बेले lot of things have been discussed about whether financial need is there. I would say the financial need for the victim or the injured, जो ex gratia, that is one part. But आपण जदि ground रे पचारिबे, nobody will tell you whether it is government, private, police official, NDRF. समस्ते कहबे आज्ञा unofficially death is not less than 800. But we are bound by the official things, so we will tell 288. कहीं कि ना गोटे गोटे जनरल कंपार्टमेंट रे 90 सीट थाए तारो डबल ट्रिपल सो पैक जैम पैक है कि जानती एवं देयर आर वेरी लेस सर्वाइवल स्ट्रेटजी हम को प्रति क्वेरीज आसुची से माने रेलवे स्टेशन रे जो सीसीटीवी कैमरा रो फुटेज नै कि प्रूव करिया पे चाहूछु जेतले गवर्नमेंट कहला जे टिकेटलेस ट्रैवलर्स विल आल्सो गेट बट सेमान तो एई प्रकार गोटे क्राइसिस समय रे आमे चिंता करूछु जे एई जो एंटाइटलमेंट को गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड एई सबु एई जो एंटाइटलमेंट को पाइबा पई कहिना एवरीबॉडी विल फॉरगेट एई समय परे ब्लड डोनेशन खाइबा जीवा एवं ये करिबा बट जो इमोशनल पेन जो ग्रीफ दैट इज गोइंग टू बी देयर लॉन्ग टर्म एवं से माने प्राय तांकर आपण बिहार रु 18 रु 25 इयर्स एज ग्रुप रो ओडिशा बेंगल बॉर्डर एरियाज रे झारखंड एवं ये सब जगह रे जो एवरी सिंगल केस is you know it needs a whole lot of efforts जदि आमे तांकु गोटे ह्यूमैनिटेरियन स्टैंडर्ड रे तांकु रीच आउट करिया कथा चिंता करू तेनु मु एति की कहबी अगस्त ऑडियंस को कि जोटा प्रपोज करा हिची जे जेमति कोविड समय रे भी आमे देखिलु गवर्नमेंट केवल रेगुलेशंस एवं ए जो पहिला जे गोटे क्राइसिस हला जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल कथा कहतले प्राय देखा गला गाँ रे जो माने भी गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल गले सेमानकु जो साइकोसोशियल केयर टा कथा देखा नाही गला नाही बोली प्राय लोक प्रथम दिन भलो थिबे 3-4 दिन परे से माने डेथ करिउतले बट बहुत लोक गाँ गंडारे हेई की भी छाड़ी जाउतला बट दे वर एमिडिस्ट देयर नियर एंड डियर वंस सो ए जो कथाटा कहिबार मोर अर्थ थिला जे जो ट्रॉमा काउंसलिंग ट्रॉमा केयर ए रिलेटेड सेंसिटाइजेशन एवं जदी आमे कंप्लीट गोटे तारो आमे सिपे आमे कोन करूछु ना जति कि लोकल वॉलंटियर्स मानको रिकॉग्नाइज करूछु एवं तांकु गोटे कॉन्फिडेंस आनुछु जे आपण माने जत्ते फुटेज रखिचंती काहे कि ना 2-3 दिन परे से सब गुडा चिन्हिबा कंडीशन रे नथिला तेबो सेमाने तिरले डेड बॉडी बाहर करथिले से समस्त फुटेज आमे कलेक्शन करबा आरंभ करिछु एवं ए जे सिंबॉलिक वे रे काहे कि ना ए जो 2 लाख की 10 लाख पाउचंती सेइथिरे तांकर गुटे लंबा जर्नी कवर हबो नाही आ मोस्ट ऑफ द केसेस रे सेमानकर जो एबे कोन हला गवर्नमेंट रे गुटे हला जे केते जल्दी डिकंजेस्ट करिवे आपण इमेजिन करन मते कहंतु एई प्रकार रो जोठी बॉडी कटि जाईची एही ची आपनकर हॉस्पिटल गुडा को खाली कर दिया गला अति एक्सट्रीम केयर को जोटा निया गला बाकी मानकु आइदर बेंगल नै गला तांको घर को ओडिसा रे तांकर घर को जेवा पई बाध्य करा गला सो एई क्षेत्र रे जोटा बेस्ट मैनेजमेंट कह जाउची केते जल्दी हमें डिकंजेस्ट करिवा बालेश्वर रे हार्डली जने पेशेंट अछि जहार ऑपरेशन हि पर it is good they should go back to their natural settings but is the healing complete so ei kshetra re ame mane feel karuchu being the development workers ki yaha ku ame kebol gote emergency response dustro na dekhi ki yara jo long term repercussions rahichi taku ame समाधान करिया पे चेष्टा करिबु go to the next one eta ame jo reach out करिया पे चाहूतलु go to the next slide yeah so go to next yes please so ame ei कार्यक्रम ta को गोटे जो गोटे आरंभ करिछु प्रोजेक्ट पुनर्जीवन करिकी ame इथरे चेष्टा करूछु जे जो सपोर्ट सर्विस दरकार से मानकु जो माने मिसिंग those who have not got ex gratia how to prove that they traveled through a variety of means it needs lot of engagement sometimes they may not be in a position ki tanku pore paisa milibo se pai agru खर्च करिवे they will always seek our support second thing होची जो मानकर इंजर्ड हेचंती किंतु समाने डिसेबिलिटी अटेंड करिसंती तांकर डिसेबिलिटी सर्टिफिकेट पाइबे केमती एवं तांकर जो अर्निंग मेंबर ते डिसेबल हेची तार जो कनकरेंट लाइवलीहुड नीड्स ताकु केमती फुलफिल होबो से दिगरे हमें ब्रती होचु धन्यवाद
Thank you so much. So Amrastos, let's finish summarize this thing. So age situation, we were not battle ready. Even COVID also we were not battle ready. But the difference is the crunch of time, the response system. So it is paisa dakani, but we need social rehab and mental and social rehab. So I would request, like OSA executives have started a relief fund to donate to the chief minister's relief fund. I would strongly recommend that. Plus you see our Yuva Vikas Kendra, our Jovika President Allah, he is doing a wonderful job, and his approach is this is for a short-term rehab, 3 to 4 months till the government money and the pledges kick in. So that is what it is needed. It is non-healthcare medical issues where we need social rehab and mental rehab. Mental rehab, we have doctors, Amit Parjashi is there, and also API, American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. We have one member who is a vice president, national vice president. So he has promised me he'll provide American psychiatrists if needs mental counseling. So I'll encourage also to support Govind and his organization for doing the wonderful job. And the details are there. It is recorded. So please evaluate this and kindly do whatever you feel right. Saying this, I would have Nageshwar Rajnala. You guys know he is the president of New York Regency Philadelphia chapter, and he's a health and wellness member, IT expert, and our guide in IT. So I'll have him discuss. Nagesh, come in, please.
Bana, thank you. Mutike help me just for the entire audience, especially our OSA members, just to understand the path we took as health and wellness or the guidance we try to give OSA in terms of how do we move forward from here. Now, there are just a couple of things that I want to explain first before we jump into some details here. For health and wellness or OSA to get engaged, we need a longer runway, and I'll explain why. Right? Early on, when we had done the COVID project, early on there was a couple of decisions we took together. We will not just send money. In fact, the entire COVID project was executed without cash donations. So early on, that was one of the decisions that we had taken, that we will not send cash donations. We will provide service to the affected at the detail level, at the grassroots level, on the ground, right? So in order to do that, Utkal is also on the call. He was the national treasurer a term back. And the challenge, the biggest challenge you have as OSA, who is a registered nonprofit within the US, there is no mechanism for OSA to send money to another organization in India. Those mechanisms are very difficult and long drawn. And within India also, the government has clamped down in terms of the ability for non-profit organizations to receive money from abroad. That also is a process that we have to go through. So these are all things and challenges that we've had. So,
yes, a minute. I got 10 minutes. Announce joint Ponda Professor HOD Medicine. He has joined, but he will be after you. So go ahead. Sorry,
sure,
I just welcome Jan.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened when we did the COVID project was we started the COVID project in wave 1. But really, by the time we got the first service on the ground, it was already wave 2. It took us a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to get things operational on the ground. So when we did that, at the end of the project, we said, how do we sustain our framework of getting things done on the ground? And that's where I'll start sharing from here on that this was the group of partners that contributed and that worked with us very closely in the COVID project. आमे सबु partners सागरे closely करी गोटे framework तैयारी कलु where we are on the same page. आमे समस्ते we all subscribe to a common set of values. That is what I'm showing here. That we all subscribe to a set of values. That we will work with transparency, we will work with accountability, we will work with integrity and teamwork. So eta correlate we all gelled very well together. And the fact that there was no cash exchange, as I said, was not an impediment. They worked with us with that, saying that yes, in fact, all of the partners equally contributed money into the process and put in the effort to do that. So we created this framework, we created a set of values to do this, right? And then the biggest thing that we accomplished, I think, in the COVID project was we covered much of the state. We provided services in Titlagarh, Sambalpur, Kotakpuri, Bhubaneswar, on this side to Keonjhar, Baleswar, Sabbu Ade, we were able to reach out, build this network and get this thing. So this is how the biggest outcome of the COVID project, apart from the immediate help that was given to the affected people, was that OSA Health and Wellness created this very robust framework with values of partners that could help us in the future. So that was the major outcome of that project in a way. So with this, what we thought was, you've heard the information on the ground. Just sending money to anybody or the CM Relief Fund is not going to give us the results that we want to. The people on the ground should get help. But we are seeing that there is already a lot of help available. This is not broad-based like COVID, where millions were affected. This is a small group of high-intense effect that people experience, and there is help that is available, which is already happening there. And also, like Sabio said and Govind Babu said, we need to create a capability for the future. Because one of the things, as I said, right, for OSA Health and Wellness to start a project in Odisha, I'm going to run with it. It cannot be done in 24 hours, 48 hours. It needs some time to establish and the project objectives, get funds moving, and then get anything done. Right. So based on that, this was the outcome that we created within the health and wellness group. So what we are proposing at this point of time is immediate sense, what we want to do is help our members. There are many members who are passionate about helping people who are affected by this tragedy. We will connect you to these groups, right? You heard Sabya, you heard Elena, you heard Govind Bhai. We will connect you to these folks so that you can directly help through their channels, which are already active on the ground. Instead of going through health and wellness, you can directly work with them. And Sanjay is also there. So that is one thing. Now, where we want to put our attention is, given that this is a trigger for something for health and wellness to work towards in the future, we are proposing this, that we will create what we are calling ERTs, right? Emergency response teams. And as a start point, we are selecting 5 locations in Titlagad, in Sambalpur, Ganjamre, and Bhubaneswar area, and the Bhadrak Baleswar area, right? So we'll start here, and hopefully over time we can expand this network as well. Now, what is this whole concept about an ERT or an emergency response team? We'll write up a policy, we'll write up capabilities, we'll write up how things will be done. We will make sure funds are available to enable those teams. But these are things we're looking at. Quick response capabilities, as we said, with 24 hours is the time when then we need to be able to react. We want to try and provide 2 ambulances to every one of these locations. And I'll just use COVID as an example. Jehetu ame COVID re ambulance deitile, the current one that was there with Smile Please, Sobi was able to deploy that within a few hours, and that ambulance has served its purpose in this. There are 2 kinds of ambulances we are looking at. One ambulance is the regular ambulances. These are like Maruti vans that are converted into an ambulance that costs maybe around about less than $10,000, I would say. There is also something called an ALS, Advanced Life-Saving Ambulance, which has the capability to incubate patients, which is also a need of the hour. Seta India re bahut kam achi, Odisha re ahuri kam achi. So we'll try and see if it is possible to have 1 regular ambulance and 1 ALS ambulance in each of these 5 locations that can help in this. Bhalo dina thile, these ambulances are helping people every day. Smile Please, the ambulance that we have is helping people who can't afford an ambulance. They are getting help from us every day. Jodhine emergency hala, they can be redeployed to the emergency location. Along with that, we want to work with the partners to connect with the local hospitals, how best emergency services can be provided. We want to connect with the physician network. Already, health and wellness through it, we have a large number of physicians who are connected to us. So how do we connect with them offline, online to work towards an emergency? We want to create emergency kits. Jo kothara kahile pani available nahi. We don't know what kind of emergency supplies that are needed on the ground. Jodi gote remote area re gote disaster hela, how do we get kits available on the ground? We can do that. Look at that. And then lastly, trauma capability. One is Govind Bhai has very eloquently said in terms of the first people who are helping on the ground are not trained emergency response people. They are ordinary people who are showing up and they are saying, I want to help, right? So what can we do to try and improve that capability is something we're looking at. Amara, Dr. Nanak Agarwal is one of our very senior physicians. And he has offered to lead this. This is his area of expertise, and he has offered to lead this, that the American College of Surgeons has a whole framework around trauma treatment. And we want to create a program around this that can be implemented in all these 5 and additional areas as well. Dr. Jayant Panda, who just joined, has very kindly agreed that SCB can be the first program implementation or pilot implementation for this program, and then slowly we'll try to go there. So the idea here is to see to create a disaster response which is quick with the supplies and the ambulances that are needed, and secondly, how do we create a greater understanding of trauma processes, trauma treatments, maybe initially with the medical professionals, but as we go forward with other people as well, to see how this can be done. So some of these things are there. Devashish Mehra was also talking about how do we do some life-saving training for common people as well. So those are some of the thoughts that are going on. So I'll pause here and then I'll request Dr. Jayant Panda to share some of his thoughts, and then we'll open it up for some questions and discussions.
So we are planning to have this team, emergency response team, where it will be led by OSA team as well as OSA members, as well as health and medical faculty. So medical, Amar Bashan Mahapatra has agreed to lead this, and we have extensive plan, but this needs a lot of work. And so be patient. We cannot open it in one month or 2 weeks. And then OSA members, Nagesh has kindly agreed to lead that. And so we will set up team, and we'll have team members we'll select from each region, and who will be passionate enough to volunteer and help and work with us. Because when you say people are okay, when you say people are passionate to give, we need that thing to be changed to the real work. We need volunteers. We are all doing volunteer work, and this is not a job. We have to be passionate, and if you want to help, let's walk the walk, not talk the talk. So I would request all volunteers to come forward and send email or text, and we will form the group. And I'm very proud of Nanak Bhai, our mentor, Dr. Nanak Ram Agarwal, and he'll be leading in Odisha. The first time we'll do American trauma life support courses, and he'll be teaching and training those surgeons there how to deal with the trauma. Nanak Bhai is there. Thank you, Nanak Bhai. And Vasant Bhai, thank you for leading. And Nagesh, thank you for leading. Nanak Bhai, you want to say a little bit, Nanak Bhai, before Joint Babu can say?
No, namaskar. Thank you all. Thank you, Devashish. I think this is a wake-up call for all of us to get together and organize a coordinated trauma support, including the government hospitals, private hospitals, and private physicians. I think we can do it. I'm very optimistic, and we'll set the state to, as Odisha leads everything, it has a great disaster plan, and we'll complement it with our physician network. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Joint Babu will be here, and he will also tell what plan he has for you for setting up that American trauma life support. Let me welcome Dr. Joint Ponda. He's professor and HOD of in medicine in SCB Medical College. He is known as the most influential and the person to go in SCB. He is my younger brother, and he's here. He actually was in Calcutta, so he was a little difficult in connecting. Joint Babu, welcome. Please. Oh, you're on mute. Okay, highlight kar do.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was traveling, so sorry for the delay in joining. It's a pleasure seeing all of you, Nanak Bhai and the whole OSA Health and Wellness Group. Already a lot of discussion has taken place. I joined little late, but I have understood your concern for the disaster victims and the trauma support plan in Odisha. That is one of the most essential thing what
I think Joint Babumkar बोधे किसी गोटे कनेक्शन इशू हला से ड्रॉप हे जनी आउथे जॉइन करि परंती
Oh, he joined.
Yeah. Actually, all the trauma care centers which are available now, including SCB, Ashwini, and prominently in the capital hospital and nearby, are inadequate. And you understand the amount of disturbance and the mental agony, as well as the multiple issues related to the bleeding, related to the fractures, related to the head trauma, bone injuries, soft tissue injuries, organ injuries, and then that requires a coordinated approach. And really, we are not fully developed to tackle it. Somewhat, it's coming up now with the help of Government of India project for the trauma care and also some private institution setup. But anything you do supporting at that point of time will be life-saving and indispensable for the people of Odisha. Number one. Number two, regarding this train tragedy, it's almost more than a week now. We have been working in a team, the orthopedician, the surgeon, the neurosurgeon, the anesthetist, the physician. We have formed a committee, and starting from 200 plus patients, we have around 80 patients now, out of which 20 are in the ICU. But the good news is zero casualty. After a person reached SCB, till now we have not lost a single patient. We have discharged almost 180 patients by now with complete or partial recovery, but not a single death till now. All 20 patients in the ICU are stable and taken care of. And more than 100 surgeries are done in only Department of Orthopedics. Besides the others, the neurosurgeons, the surgeons have also taken up cases. All the efforts are given, and right from the day of the accident, the 2nd June, the last Friday, the blood transfusion was overwhelmingly supported by students, faculties, voluntary organizations, and so many people. We had collected more than 3,000 units of blood in a span of 24 hours. That was a record collection at Balashore, at Bhadrak, at Cuttack, and together. Throughout the night, the mission of blood donation and collection continued. So that's a very interesting history, how the civil society came forward with the dresses, with food, with snacks, for donating blood, and tracing the unknown people, and extending the helping hand. It became so much that the district management had to control the crowd of people coming for extending their help. Now, what is the situation? These people are traumatized. Somebody has lost the near and dear ones. Somebody has not recovered from the experience of the train accident, and they require some mental support, which is very important for them, but not even much importance in India, where the physical support, where the finance is a big issue. These aesthetic aspects are never cared of in a country like ours. So we should have project to help them mentally, number one. Number two, Nanak Shar's program and the OSA health and wellness program of supporting a trauma health care or trauma support for a long-term plan will be indispensable, will be very useful in the sense there are cyclones, there are natural calamities, there are accidents, and then round the clock, round the month, round the year, people require this. And any effort to enhance the human resources or having increased support during this crisis time will be very useful for people of Odisha. With this, I thank the whole team of OSA Health and Wellness, and I'm there for any help which is possible in the government sector or from the SCB Medical College, Cuttack. Thanking you all.
Thank you, John Babu. Love you, love you. I just want to make a brief recognition of those who are here and have been our great support all the time. Our Arjun Purohit, Arjun Bhai is here. He's a senior mentor and he was at excellent. I mean, if you heard about him, he's an excellent leader who has always stood up for Odias, and he's very passionate also in the Odia community of North America. Arjun Bhai, pranam. Thank you for gracing the meeting today and staying with us. I would also recognize Lal Babu, Lal Mahanti, our ex-OSA president, who is a passionate supporter during a COVID thing, and he guides us with his wonderful intellectual ideas. I will also recognize the presence of Bunu Devabhrata Behra, my younger brother, and he is very passionate. When he is involved, he gives his heart and soul. Thank you, Bunu, and Bikram Bhai, and Nikki, our Southeast chapter president, and she's my sister, and she's here and she's listening, and she has promised me that she will help us whatever is needed. Where is Nikki? Please highlight him a little bit. So,
Deb, can I just tell something a little bit?
Sure, Bikram Bhai.
Yeah, the most important thing is from from the US and going overseas with the Doctors Without Border, what we have found that it is not the immediate trauma management, which is some people will die because of the blood loss, and that is now taken care of that part. Orthopedic management will continue. It is the crush injury from this type of, and that continues for next 2 to 3 months. That's what the expertise is necessary to be given to, if they require, if they request the AIMS, Bhubaneswar hospitals, Kotak hospitals, Baleswar, Bhadrak hospitals. If they want that, we can provide the expertise. That's what I just want to
Thank you,
bring up.
Vikram Bhai. Our Dr. Vikram Paul, he's a very eminent physician and researcher. He has a lot of awards and laurels. And
Can I talk to something? I think everybody has finished.
who is that?
I'm Dr. Ajit.
Ajit, Ajit bhai, good minute. I'm going to recognize kar diya. I recognize also Dr. Ajit Kayal from UK, our UK team, London Room. And Amar Otasunai, I missed it. I'm looking at it. Dr. Otasunai, cardiologist, our OSA Health and Wellness team, and also he's Indian Doctors Association of Houston is a big partner, was a big partner during COVID. And welcome, Otasunai. Go ahead, Ajit bhai. Then I Amit is
please.
waiting. I'll have
I am very much involved with the trauma management in London and India. I was developed a trauma critical care in St. George's Hospital, London. And second thing, recently I have visited to Christian Medical College, Vellore, to develop a trauma critical care. Now, what is the problem with the Indian setups? Indian setups is the trauma. If you talk about the trauma or critical care, there is no any concept. There is nowhere you can touch the trauma management. The reason is that they are very, very, if you are talking about the trauma, they think about only orthopedics. There is nowhere trauma is near to the orthopedics. Orthopedics is the third clinical specialty to involve, not the first. So I have been to Chandigarh. I know the trauma critical care, how they handle it. I was in AIMS and how they are monitoring. We have a, as you mentioned, everybody has mentioned about the COVID management. COVID management is completely different scenario with the trauma management. There is nothing near to that. Okay, so we need to approach this trauma critical care. If you want to manage in Odisha, particularly in remote center where nobody knows about what is the trauma. I'm truly speaking, I have spoken even CMC Vellore. It's not that I was there for 6 months, but people does not care about the trauma category. We have recently developed a trauma critical care service in Vellore. It's a new setup. I was there, but people are completely different. It's not only the management of patient, not the management of orthopedics or surgery. It's a complete system management. It's not only one that you can manage the patient. It's not a manage the patient. You not manage whole of the family. How are you going to manage the family?
Yeah. So
that is very, very important.
We'll discuss that in detail. These are technical terms too. We'll have a lot of non-medical members are here. We'll discuss. I really appreciate your passion. I know you are so passionate. We'll discuss as a global unit how we'll take it also from the UK team, and you are also one of our member in the group along with Basant Bhai and Nanak Bhai. We'll definitely loop you in. And then let me go ahead and just one brief thing. Welcome our new president-elect, Ms. Lina Mishra. I saw that she's here. I was looking into the screen, so I did not see the people were. Lina, madam, welcome, and can you be in the video so we can welcome you so that people can see our new incoming president-elect of OSA. Welcome. You want to say a few words? Subuni, mute achode.
माने मु कहली नमस्कार मु गोटे हाथ रे धरची बोली फोन टा नमस्कार दे हाथ रे करि पारनी बट बहुत भल लागला मु आई जस्ट वांटेड टू माने टिके निजु को फैमिलियराइज करे पई एटा तो बहुत न्यूली क्रिएटेड ग्रुप सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू लाइक फाइंड आउट कोन कोन माने केमति टिके आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी सीइंग ऑल दिस information so I wanted to figure out like हम कहली जते टिके to familiarize myself and ଟିକେ ଜାଣିଲେ କଣ କଣ ଚାଲିଛି ଆମେ definitely କଥା ହବା ପୁଣି ଥରେ with more detail on this. So yeah, that's all. I would not take more time. ଆପଣ continue କରନ୍ତୁ. We'll talk more in detail.
Thank you for your presence here. We are most appreciative of your presence. And so Arjun Bhai was raising his hand, so we will go after Amit Pare. Amit will give a brief talk how he's going to API, American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, is a huge organization in North America. And he's the vice president, and we are proud to have an ODIA there. And hope next year he will be the president. So all ODIAs is going to support him. So he has promised me he'll be providing us American psychiatrists for mental counseling if needed. Go ahead, Amit.
Namaskar. Thank you for having me, Devashish. Obviously, once this happened, I reached out to Devashish. I reached out to the president right now. He's actually obviously busy for the convention, but I told him that we need to send out an appeal letter. But then I was waiting to get some guidelines on what to do. Devashish Matakoila, that maybe money is not the most essential thing at this time, but providing medical professionals, especially psychological helpline. And I've got a few people. In fact, the president of API, president of API, is also a psychiatrist, and there are a few other very, very top-notch psychiatrists who are in API, and we have done that during COVID time. If psychological help is needed, Devashish asked me to help in that aspect. I am open to bring API to help. API is the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. Is the largest ethnic organization here and the second largest medical organization in USA after AMA. So we've got tremendous reach actually, so that we can get this. We raised about $5.5 million during the second wave of COVID. And some of that money is still there, which we are trying to see what can be done. And we were not waiting, I shouldn't say that waiting. We are actually, I don't know what's the right word. We wanted that money to go to some other legitimate cause, because it has been donated for help of any kind of this kind of disaster or calamity. So I don't know whether I can reach out to them and ask them. We've got a lot of money left over from there, and I can ask them to see if that can be legally channeled to this disaster, which is a big disaster here, and that's something else which I can bring to the table. Tachada, if I can be of any other help, any other support, any way I can be of help, I'm very proud that to be the first ODIA to become the president of upcoming president of API, and I want to give back whatever I can bring from the national team to Odisha team. Please let me know.
Thank you, Amit. Like I said, when we need money, we need money. So every OSA member's money is our money, whether it is API member money, also our money. So we'll use money when it is needed, absolutely. If money is not the reason now, we don't want to spend anybody's money, but we will, and Amit, we will reach out and talk together how we can help. We saw a couple of our NGOs, Balesuru Jiva Kendra, they also need that mental counseling. So we'll talk and we'll approach them. Okay. Thank you, Amit, for being here. So we'll go to Arjun Bhai, who's here raising, and then we'll go to the question and answer session.
Okay. I had actually a lot of things to say, but I'll confine myself to only one issue. That way I hope it will be most relevant. Let me tell you about a little bit of my background. I'm a psychologist, and I was a professor of psychology and psychiatry at Queen's, and I was teaching and training the clinical psychology program, as well as training the psychiatrists here. I'm a retired person now. I'm a chief psychologist of a hospital. In the last 13 years of my private practice, I was exclusively dealing primarily with trauma patients. Particularly, I had a special license to deal with car accident victims, really. So I was recognized as a specialist on that one. As I was listening to a lot of presenters, I was amazed actually how much they have been able to do, and it is, I really my salute to all of them. But one thing which comes out glaringly possible, but it is not happening. I mean, we know that Odisha is a disaster-prone zone, a province. Disasters are not new to almost every, we have got either cyclone or flood or something happening. We have got chief minister's fund there, and whenever something like funny happens or super cyclone happens, as if it's something new, and we all try to scramble, but we do not have a preparedness, as I think some people have already commented on that thing. I want to say my say on one thing and one thing alone, and this is what is probably was not covered today. I see a disconnection between the psychology department and all the trauma things. I don't understand why. I mean, there is a, nowadays I see in Odisha, there are psychology departments all over the place. It's not in one place. And there are also postgraduate programs. They don't teach about the trauma counseling. I would urge actually through you and to the Odisha government or higher education, whoever it is, please, here is a built-in population there, young people who should be able to, that be part of the curriculum. Odisha should specialize in trauma counseling. And I know from research, now I'm retired, I'm too old to get involved directly, but I know I can tell you that if you provide psychological first aid with the first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes, it has a tremendous consequence. It eliminates a lot of future problems. So first response of initial first aid counseling is very important, and there is nothing medical about it. It is a very, very easy thing to do, and we should train our students to do it. And universities are full of young people with a lot of energy and easily available. This is a group we can very easily mount whenever they get trauma there. They should be available right away. And I don't want to say that I'm going to volunteer for these things, etc., or not. But I have been training and teaching psychiatrists here how to deal with post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, so but I think the trauma thing, the initial disaster counseling and the trauma counseling slightly different actually, in a way that actually no matter what the situation is, there are some basic elements that can be done. It's a generic thing, and it is very easily teachable skill. And I urge actually, that there should not be disconnection between the academia and utilitarian kind of thing. And the moment we are talking about this, you are only thinking of the medicalizing everything. Medical personnel are very expensive. There are very few, and they are very good, but we do not have as many medical people as we needed. We really don't. No matter how much you think that they should be available, etc., in the ideal situation, it's just the fact that we do not have enough of them, and we never will have enough. But we have vast army of students with some basic skill training. Actually, they should be easily available to provide it in a moment's notice. And they are full of energy, and they will. I can tell you that actually helping people in trauma is one of the most rewarding experience one can ever have. So it will be it should be part of their not only curriculum, but at the same time, it's a part of their social service. It is a win-win for everybody. So I have so many other thoughts, but I don't want to spend your time because there are so many nice people here trying to tackle the program, and I really salute to all of you. But I'm an old professor of Rebelsat University, by the way, and Utkal University. But I noticed that actually there is a disconnection between what we need and
what we have.
It seems so obvious that psychologists should be involved, and these guys are not there. And we are looking at the medical schools, highly paid psychiatrists, very specialist people to do this job. It is not necessary. We can provide these basic skills to all the students, and it is teachable.
Yes, Baina, you are very
Anyway,
well said.
this is my. I don't want to say, but this is all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Arjun Bhai. Thank you for the question. You said you touched a very tender chord. Ajikal sabu hospital psychologists are in the forefront and helping us. Definitely, your words are very encouraging, and we'll reach out to you if any of our NGOs like Yuva Kendra. I think he is very impressed with your talk. If he wants to connect with you, please. I hope you won't mind to give him some guidance. How he's doing a wonderful job there.
Actually, I have trained people. I have trained people in the jails. The guards, actually, you know that the jail is Kingston. We have got 5 different central jails here,
right?
And there are always some disaster happens there. And I have been asked to train the guards actually how to deal with on different situations like this. But my point is actually this is a different thing. We should be able to teach how to provide first aid, psychological services to the trauma victims. This is very simple, not the long-term thing. Forget about that, because what we can eliminate 90% of the problem of people by providing 10 minutes in the beginning. And that is what we should be. It is teachable, it is possible, and we have got adequate mechanisms. The institutional mechanism is still there. All the psychology departments and all the colleges all over the place, full of young people, they need to be trained. That's all. And they should be available.
Agree. Thank you, Arjun Bhai.
Bye.
And we have a question and answer session. If there are any questions, Kalki, if you can tell, then we can.
I'm here.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions there you want us to answer?
No, thus far, no questions. Actually, mostly commentary. I'll keep looking.
I have a question.
Go.
Sorry. ମୁଁ बस अर्जुन सर को गोटे कथा पचारिबाकू चाहिबी जदि किए जने ट्रेन्ड नुहे साइकोलॉजी रे जने पाठ पढ़िनी नॉट एजुकेटेड साइकोलॉजी रे कैन शी और ही गाइड माने कि असिस्ट if at all I want to do that in just 5 minutes of any kind of disaster and any kind of accident, so can I do, because I'm not educated, when I'm not educated in the field of psychology, so can I be a part of that?
Yes, of course. I have treated jail guards. They have nothing to do with psychology.
Elena, I can give you Arjun Bhai's number. Arjun Bhai's number,
Sure.
and he can mentor you and guide you.
Because I really like sankara katha mate bahut bhal lagila, and that actually helps. Ebe right now jodi accident ro sabuto adhika lok mane bhoy, even we are traumatized and we are afraid, we are scared to travel train re. So like that, जो माने भाबंतु एबे एक्चुअली एक्सीडेंट रे थिबे, जो माने इंजर्ड अछंती, जो माने बा इंजर्ड नहांती आ से माने सेही जगह सेही मोमेंट रे अछंती, बा सेही बालेश्वर महानगर लोकल लोक, they all are traumatized, and we need to माने से डरो को हमको माने ये करे पड़े. And right now I think that this is the thing that we all should act on. And that's I really appreciate this statement. And I really
Can I add one more thing, and then I'll definitely stop. I also teach how to take care of the caretakers, because sometimes we get so enthusiastic that we burn ourselves out. Okay.
Correct.
Then once you are burnt out, you are no use to anybody. You yourself need help. Okay. So therefore, it is very important to teach the skills, when to recognize when you are doing too much, so that you don't get burnt out. Okay, I teach both how to provide traumatic counseling and this, how to provide first aid, but how to not to extend too much so that you are going to overextend yourself. Because when you are burnt out, you are no good to anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you, Arjun bhai. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
And I would recognize also Rambhai or Dr. Ramprasad Patnaik, our working committee member. I just saw him. I was looking through the screen. Well, I didn't look before. Rambhai, welcome. Anything you want to say? You want to contribute something? Atos bhai. You're on mute.
Ramai mute achanti. Ramai mute achanti.
You are the Rambhai.
Okay. So I sent a questionnaire, and the question was all these things we discussed, but majority of the hospitals, which is well-to-do hospitals, that is private hospitals, what played those hospitals, the doctors in there or the hospitals as such, all this big disaster, what kind of role they played, what kind of help they given to the people involved?
ଆମର ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ଭାଇନା କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି ବଟ୍ ଆମେ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ଶୁଣିଲେ
ରେସ୍ପଣ୍ଡ କରିପାରିବି।
ହଁ କୁହ ସଭ୍ୟ କୁହ।
ଇନିସିଆଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡେଡ୍ ବଡି ଗୁଡାକୁ ସିଫ୍ଟ କରାହଉଥିଲା ଆଉ 24 ଆୱାର୍ସ ପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡେଡ୍ ବଡି କୁ ରଖିବାଟା ଡିଫିକଲ୍ଟ ହଉଥିଲା ତ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲର ସବୁଠୁ ବଡ ହେଲ୍ପ ଥିଲା ଯେ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ମର୍ଚୁରୀ ଯୋଉଠି ଡେଡ୍ ବଡି କୁ ପ୍ରିଜର୍ଭ କରାଯାଏ ସେଗୁଡାକ ସେମାନେ ଇମିଡିଏଟଲି ଓପନ କରିଦେଲେ ଫର ଦ ଡେଡ୍ ବଡିଜ। ଆଉ ଏମ୍ସ ରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫ୍ୟାସିଲିଟି ଓପନ ହେଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ କଣ୍ଟେନର ଆସିଲା ଆଇସ୍ କ୍ୟୁବ୍ସ ଆସିଲା ଯୋଉଟାକ ମେନଲି ଡେଡ୍ ବଡି କୁ ଅଧିକା ଟାଇମ ଯାଏ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସବୁ ତକ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ସ ଯାହା ରିକ୍ୱାର୍ଡ ସେଇଟା ଆସିବା ପାଇଁ ବୋଧେ 4 ଦିନ 5 ଦିନ ଲାଗି ଯାଇଥିଲା। ତ ସେ 4 ଦିନ 5 ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲର ଯେତିକି ବି ମ୍ୟାକ୍ସିମମ୍ କ୍ୟାପାସିଟି ଥିଲା ଯୋଉ ଡେଡ୍ ବଡି ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ସମସ୍ତେ ପ୍ରୋଭାଇଡ କରିଥିଲେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର କଟକ ଇଭେନ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଏରିଆରେ ବି। ତାପରେ ଯୋଉ କିଛିଟା ଯୋଉ ଟ୍ରମାଟିକ ମାନେ ଯୋଉଟା କି ବହୁତ ଆଇସିୟୁ ରିଲେଟେଡ ପେସେଣ୍ଟସ ଥିଲେ ସେଇଗୁଡାକ ବି ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ କୁ ଯାଇଥିଲା। ଆଉ ବହୁତ ବି ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଜାଣିଛି ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲର କିଛି ଏକ୍ସପର୍ଟସ ବି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲକୁ ଯାଇକି ସର୍ଭିସ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କର ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟରେ ହଉ କିମ୍ବା ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟର କୌଣସି ରିକ୍ୱେଷ୍ଟରେ ହଉ। ତ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ହେଇଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲକୁ ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି କୌଣସି ଆକ୍ସେସ କିମ୍ବା କୌଣସି ରୋଲ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଲେଭେଲରେ ଦିଆ ହେଇନଥିଲା ଯେହେତୁ ଲିମିଟେଡ ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ କେସେସ୍ ଥିଲା। ଆଉ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ ଯେମିତି କୋଭିଡ ଟାଇମରେ ବେଡ୍ ନଥିଲା ବୋଲି ବହୁତ ଗୋଟେ ବଡ କ୍ରାଇସିସ୍ ଥିଲା ତ ଏଇଠି ବେଡ୍ ଗୁଡାକୁ ଆଭେଲେବଲ ବି କରାହେଇଥିଲା ଯେତିକି ଦୂର ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଛି। ତ ଏଇଟା ଏତିକି ଇନଫର୍ମେସନ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ଇଫ୍ ଏନିୱାନ୍ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଆଡ୍ ଟୁ ଇଟ୍।
ମୁଁ ଟିକେ ଆଡ୍ କରିବି ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ ଇମିଡିଏଟଲି ଡିସାଇଡ୍ କରିଥିଲା ଯେ ପ୍ରାଇଭେଟ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ୍ସ ମାନେ ୱିଥ୍ ଫୁଲ୍ ଇଏରେ ସେମାନେ ସପୋର୍ଟ ଦେଇପାରିବେ ଅଲ୍ ଏକ୍ସପେଣ୍ଡିଚର୍ସ ୱିଲ୍ ବି ରିଏମ୍ବର୍ସଡ୍ ବାଇ ଦ ଷ୍ଟେଟ୍ ଗଭର୍ଣ୍ଣମେଣ୍ଟ। ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଜ୍ୟୋତି ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ କିମ୍ସ ଅନ୍ୟମାନେ ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆକ୍ସେସ୍ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇପର ପଲିସି ଡିସିସନ ନେବେ। ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।
अच्छा अच्युत भाई को डाकली he could not come and Somra Pushparaj he is little busy can I short term notice se kalu to if there is any question they are also part of our network. Govinda anything else you want to say? Can Govinda told something जोटा कि अर्जुन भाई टच कले very
गोटे कथा दे भाई खाली मु गोटे जिंस ऐड करबा को चाहिबे आई थिंक अच्युत सर जो माने जो मान को फैमिलीज लोक हरे माने जो मान लोक जीवन जाई जो मान निज लोक फैमिलीज तांको पिल्लां को एजुकेशन एंड एउडा भी प्रोवाइड करचंती माने जदी सभ्य जानि चंदी ही कैन क्लियरली से दैट जे तांको छुआ बा तांकर जेहेतु से माने जो माने थोर बापाटे चली जाईचे तार छुआटे अछि तार एजुकेशन एंड सब किछि अच्युत सर गोटे अनाउंसमेंट करथिले जे ही विल टेक केयर ऑफ दैट किम्स विल टेक
अनाउंसमेंट एक्चुअली बहुत ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और इंस्टीट्यूशन एनजीओस इंडिविजुअल्स करचंदी ताकू अगेन प्रॉपर्ली एग्जीक्यूट करबाटा गोटे बहुत बड़ क्वेश्चन मार्क आउ समस्त को एकाठी करबा इवन सेही जगह रे भी बहुत गुडे एनजीओ रो भी बहुत गुडे रोल आसी परिबो बट सेडा के सब माने कमिटमेंट आउ माने जो गोटे कहिबार कथाटा एग्जीक्यूट हेनी पर्यंत सेमति किछि बट समस्त बहुत जण एटा को माने स्पॉन्टेनियस इमीडिएट इंस्टैंटेनियस एक्शन नै कि से माने कमिट करचंदी बहुत जिंस बहुत जण
राइट Thank you. Thank you. So,
Moro-
Govinda Babu, you want to say anything?
हाँ मोर खाली क्विक दुईटा कथा मु चार्ट रे लिखिथिली when you think of designing this ambulance ओडिशा रे surprisingly rheumatology बा यार प्रोफेशनल्स बहुत कम अछंती बेले बेले साइलेंट पेन रे से माने लंबा समय रहंती आ स्पेशली जो प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल जो फिजियोथेरेपी कहना गवर्नमेंट रे फिजियोथेरेपी सिस्टम काम न करूची कहले चले तो जदि से बेसिक फिजियोथेरापी गोटे पारा प्रोफेशनल मानक द्वारा दिया जाई परिबो मोस्ट ऑफ दिस विक्टिम्स माने जो माने एक्सीडेंट विक्टिम्स सेटा गोटे केमिति इंटीग्रेट करी हबो बेसिक इक्विपमेंट रखि सेटा गोटे कथा थिला सेकंड कथा होची आमे आउ गोटे जिनिस रे विक्टिम हो ओडिसा रे जे हमरो ब्यूरोक्रेसी आम मानको बेले बेले नजरअंदाज करंती they feel it may create unnecessary disturbance in their system so as a community OSA जदि जेमति अर्जुन सारंकर गोटे पोजीशन रहिला regarding psychosocial first aid हो बा इटा हो से प्रकार जदि गोटे जोटा फ्यूचर प्लान रखछथि सेतरेटा इंटीग्रेट करिवे I think this can go really well in terms of कहीं कि ना प्राय हॉस्पिटल रे गोटे क्राइसिस होची जेमिति कि महाराष्ट्र रे बिकॉज ऑफ TISS रो इंटरवेंशन any private or government hospital must have a medical social worker to manage the uncertainties which is beyond the physical injury but none of the hospital except SCB रे cancer ward रे जो child cancer आचार्य हरिहर जीवेदय फाउंडेशन गोटे US रो से माने एडिशनल प्रोफेशनल एंगेज करचंती एम्स रे आ एई जो जगह रे रेस्ट ऑफ द हॉस्पिटल रे कोनोसी मेडिकल सोशल वर्कर से ही नहांती सो सेटा गोटे एडवोकेसी एजेंडा हे पर धन्यवाद
थैंक यू गोविंद बाबू आई थिंक नानक भाई अपन हैंड रेज कर
Devashit, thank you very much. I'm really encouraged by all the responses. I think we should take this up as a wake-up call that we need to set up a trauma system in Odisha. Trauma is now the leading cause of death in people aged below 40 years. And we are seeing more and more accidents. And we have so much of knowledge and so much of help. I'm really grateful to Dr. Amit Chakravarti, Ajay Bhai, Vikram Bhai, Dr. Jayant Panda, Dr. Arjun Purohit. And our goal is, I'll tell you all, we need everybody's effort. It's a multi-pronged approach that we can do it. We want to get the concept of the American College of Surgeons that they call the golden hour concept. The first hour of the injury is the most important. We have to get the ambulance, and the next most important is not the physicians, the EMT technicians. They will be our soldiers on the field and the voluntary
connection, right, Utkala?
So I think we can do it. Let's do it together, and I'll be very much, I'm really encouraged. Thank you.
Devashis, you were able to hear. Nanak Bhai कहले we were able to hear very clearly.
Oh, mu suni parnutile. Acha, more maybe trouble thibo.
He just finished.
Acha. Okay. Thank you, Nanak Bhai. So we'll work on that. So Nagesh achi, Nanak Bhai achanti, Basant Bhai achi. So we lead that thing. Arjun Bhai will also, I mean, he will be happy, I think, to help us with this mental first aid thing. Mentoring also in Odisha Metal Koriba. So we'll have a multi-pronged team, multifaceted team, and we'll work it out. So if there is,
Nagesh Koche, I just a quick big shout out to Elena. Actually, say when she was talking, one thing struck me a lot. There is a mass population जो माने accident victim के बाद कहाँ सार किच्ची संपर्क नहीं. Yet they will be emotionally and mentally impacted by incidents like this. जोड़ा कि हमें US रे भी देखी चे with every major disaster, the general population gets impacted mentally. So आपण जो भावुतले that how can we create some interventions in the US side? This is something that can be done. Even in this case, हमको OSA भीतरे कितने लोगों phone कर चुकी with emotional distress. So I think in terms of creating the competencies to counsel our own members within our community is worthwhile doing. So set up add
yeah, seta Arjun bhai ku ଟିକେ help naba. We can train people here who want to do that, plus Elena and others Odisha jodi karibe, we can set up inner core of train people who can do mental first aid. Let's put it as a mental first aid. I'm a physical first aid coach, and the mental first aid absolutely it is very important. But India, I think they don't give that importance. Thank you, Arjun bhai, for bringing that up. It's an excellent thing. We also had missed it because we are very much habituated in USA. I mean, Odisha, that thing is lacking. So you transferred her back to Odisha, and we'll put that in mind. Nagesh Koila, that is excellent. ଆଉ ଯଦି କାର କିଛି question ଅଛି ନଥବ ଯଦି we will wrap up, and କିଛି question ଅଛି ଅର୍ଜୁନ ଭାଇ କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି? ଅର୍ଜୁନ ଭାଇ mute ଅଛନ୍ତି ବୋଧେ? ହଁ,
there it is. One thing we learned from this lesson from what happened a few days ago in Balasore, this is because we are in the information age. Sange, within minutes, actually, the disaster was seen by people, thousands of people all over the world, but through TV, radio, everything, and immediately the response came pouring in from everywhere, from national level, provincial level, everybody got involved, My problem is that actually silent disasters are going on in Odisha right now. And because the newspapers don't go there, the reporters are not there, TVs don't go there, so we do not know what is happening. And I will tell you, I want to share my experience here during the last COVID thing. When Mr. Bakshi was announcing every day how many people were having this death rate, etc., 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 I found out actually from the Western Odisha, some villages, there were dead bodies lying in the entire villages have been emptied out. Dead bodies were lying there. Nobody was going there. Not reported anywhere. So help never reached there because reporters were not there. Newspapers were not covering because of the COVID thing or whatever. And so from my point of view, actually, let us not think in terms of only when we know. There are pockets in Odisha where things are happening, bad things are happening, and they're happening right now. But our help doesn't reach there. So one of the things Nagesh actually pointed out very easily that when you try to send help, unfortunately the help getting infrastructure is not also there. I tried to send some money. Actually, I found out one group was going, their sole task was to go into the villages and burn the bodies. And the money was lying there. Money went from here and it stayed in, within minutes actually, it went from there to ICICI Bank. But they could not access it because FCRA clearance is not there. And it was so frustrating to me, actually. And finally, I said in May 11, the thing was finally cleared in December. One of the things we should do, in fact, is that actually we should create capabilities in these communities, outlying communities everywhere, how to access help. Because if we send money and they don't get it, it was impossible. So by the time they got the money, the disaster was over. So from my point of view, actually, we should think in terms of rural Odisha, where actually we do not know much about it because we do not get the reports. They are not covered, And so anyway, my point is actually one of the things probably we should do, we should develop our so-called social service infrastructure. Because we have these we're talking about the hospitals. The hospitals won't have doctors. It's easy to say that we send the people to the medical facilities. There is nobody there. There are no doctors. what do? You know, because and nobody knows about it because the reporters don't report about it. They don't come to the limelight, etc., etc. So it is a big problem. So when Nagesh said actually we have a center in Sambalpur, I want to know about that actually. Which is this place? I could not identify that, and I later on perhaps we can talk about it. Who is that group? Because I want to connect with them.
Sure, man.
Because
We
I
will.
tried to do a lot of things, but it could not. I simply could not do because there are no infrastructure there.
Yes, bhai.
Thank you.
We will, and we will connect with you. And our team jital habo. And thank you for your interest to mentor young Odias also everywhere. I will have Sabya say something, and then we will wrap up if there is nothing else. I think it's already past 2 hours now. So it's interesting. I mean, it is a never-ending story.
इनफैक्ट माने बहुत मीनिंगफुल डिस्कशंस ହେଇଛି बहुत बढ़िया बढ़िया इनपुट्स मिलिଛି ଆଉ इवन बहुत बढ़िया बढ़िया ग्रुप एक्टिविटीज गुडा विषय भी आम जानले जोटा कि इवन मु भी अवेयर नथली तो इट्स रियली वेरी मीनिंगफुल टू आवर जोटा कि आम अपडेट पाइले कौन कौन करि परिबा ता विषय भी आम माने टिके डिस्कस करि पारले तो माने हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस ग्रुप रो सबु रियल हीरोज मानु को अगेन मु थैंक्स जणेबी आउ माने स्माइल प्लीज रो सबु एफर्ट सबु वॉलंटियर सबु बेले अछंती HWG संगे जोटा कि मु आगुर भी कमिट करथिली आ एबे भी कहबी जे माने यू ऑर्डर मी आई एम देयर टू एग्जीक्यूट आउ विदाउट एनी सेकंड थॉट माने मु होची आर्मी रो जो बंदूक आपण माने फायर करियो माने मु बुलेट भलिया माने विदाउट थिंकिंग एनीथिंग मु खाली फायर हे जिवि दैट्स माय कमिटमेंट आउ माने हमें समस्त गोटे ग्रेटर कॉज पे हमें समस्त एकाठी हेचे महाप्रभु हमको एकाठी करचंती बहुत नुआ नुआ मेंबर्स भी हमको प्रत्येक नुआ नुआ मीटिंग रे जॉइन करचंती एथरा भी बहुत नुआ मेंबर्स भी हमको जॉइन करचंती जो माने अगेन सेम स्पिरिट रे समस्त गोटे बुलेट हिसाब रे हमको जॉइन करचंती तो खाली गोटे जिंस आज मु मिस करची हमर यूके टीम रो सहदेव भाई को जे कि अगेन माने हमर ओडिया टीम रे इनिशिएट करथिले जे हम केमति कोन हेल्प करि परिबा मे बी सी थिले आउ टिके किछि भलो इनपुट्स भी पाई थांते किंतु देव भाई एटा मोर गोटे रिक्वेस्ट रहबो आपन को आउ बाकी हमर HWG रो सब मेंबर्स मान को जे नेक्स्ट जते बडे कैलामिटी सेटा कोनोसी कॉलिंग बेल मारी के आसीबो नाही एंड नेक्स्ट कैलामिटी कैन बी एनीथिंग नेक्स्ट डिजास्टर कैन बी एनीथिंग नेक्स्ट ट्रेजेडी भी कोनोसी प्रकार ट्रेजेडी आसी पारे तो आमे आउ गोटे मीटिंग को अपेक्षा न करी करी लेट्स फॉर्म समथिंग सम सिस्टम जो सिस्टम रे कि आमे डिजास्टर रेडी थिबा पूरा 360 डिग्री एंगल रे जमती मेंटल सपोर्ट फिजिकल सपोर्ट वॉलंटियर सपोर्ट एम्बुलेंस माने सब प्रकार 360 डिग्री सपोर्ट पई जमती हमें एफिशिएंट थिबा सेमिति गोटे स्लो एंड स्टेडी हमें हमर गोटे सिस्टम को जदि हमें क्रिएट करि परले ताहले विद इन माने सेकेंड्स हमें डिजास्टर पई हमें हमर जेमिति अछि रेड क्रॉस हला कि अन्य कोनोसी बड़ बड़ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जेमिति सबले माने डिजास्टर रेडी थांती हमें सेमिति डिजास्टर रेडी ही परिबा और ट्रू सेंस रे में पब्लिक को हेल्प कर परिबा
या
So,
very well
Sabyasachi,
said.
Sabyasachi, you have said it very, very well, and we will do it with your input and with your help. It can be done. Take it for granted.
Thank you.
Very well said, Sabya. Uma bhai कोन कहउछिन बदे खाली गोटे हिस्सा कहया पूर्व उमा बहना गोटे हिस्सा कहया पूर्व सभ्य कहला को बसंत बार कान बाल सब ठिया हे गला बुझ पइले he is leading the disaster team और नागेश सपोर्टिंग so no that we'll do it but I mean tortor habani we'll do it every step of the way we'll take everybody's
slowly and
advice
steadily
yeah uma bhai
मोर पास जोड़े कथा अछि कटा होछि ए जो प्रोसेस ता हला 10 दिन भितरे we have so much of input. I think the boy has summarized quite a few people how they have donated. I also have collected quite a things from the government. So if we can get those things together, compile them together, we'll find out. And there might be some of the misinformations are there, like Mr. Dhoni has given 60 crores or the other.
Sorry to interrupt. सेटा गोटे फेक न्यूज माने
मुझे कोची so we can isolate out the fake news and good news and even Achyuta sir कर जो that announcement I saw that in the kids जैसे announce करचंती समस्त पिला मानन को देबे पाठ पढेबे so all lot of things are there that is one aspect of it आउ गोटे जिंस will trickle down is what are the immediate needs ମୁଁ ଶୁଣିଲି ଜଣେ ଗୋଟେ ହସ୍ପିଟାଲ 220 bed seat ଦେଲେ to cover the dead bodies, which is again is not it's a peanut, but at least they were prompted to do that. ଆଉ ସେମାନଙ୍କର mortuary ଖୋଲି ଦେଇଥିଲେ for the dead bodies to be there. So things like that, if we can compile a list of things, we'll also find out what are the other needs beside the psychosocial needs. Somebody mentioned about the rheumatology consultants बेसी नाहांती ओडिसा रे. So again जो pain chronic pain टा जो हबो वर्तमान ताकू गोटे ए जो लिस्टिंग गुडा करिया पड़े हमर कोन नेसेसिटी टा हबो for the future. हम तो खाली 80 बसी भाबी देल हबनी. These things are surfacing right now. These are filtering right now. This is one train tragedy. तापरे हमर या भितरे गोटे कोन काला वैशाखी आसिला. तापरे सेही जो स्टेशन रे बारनागा स्टेशन रे 6 जन श्रमिक काम करथले सेमानक ऊपर से जो रेल टा चढ़ी गला से ता तळे सोइथले से काला वैशाखी
जाजपुर रे.
हां यस जाजपुर रे, आई एम सॉरी जाजपुर रे. सो से गाड़ी टा चढ़ी गला से मरि गले समस्त. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स व्हिच आर हैपनिंग. इवन आ गोटे जगह रे निया लागी गला जाजपुर रे बोधे सेटा. तापर आ गोटे सेठी सेमती अवस्था एटा ओडिसा रे न हमर जो एठू मणिपुर ना कोन भितरे गोटे ट्रेन कोन गली पेला 8टा बगी सेटा गुड्स ट्रेन बट नो डैमेज नो इंजुरीज but all these things happen. So everything happening, but we have to summarize what are the needs, what are the things we can be of help. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଯୋଉଟାକୁ ଅର୍ଜୁନ ବାବୁ କହିଲେ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନି ଆମର ସେତେ ଗୁଡା ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସ ଟିମ୍ ସବୁ ସେଇ କଟକ ପୁରୀ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ଏତିକି ଭିତରେ ହଉଛି. ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ରିମୋଟ ଏରିଆ ଗୁଡାକୁ ଯେ କେତେ ଆମେ ସକ୍ସେସଫୁଲି ଇନଫ୍ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରକ୍ଚର ବିଲ୍ଡ କରେଇ ପାରିବା, that is another things to look into. ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଭାବରେ ଏଠି ଏ ଦେଶରେ ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସ ଡିଜାଷ୍ଟର ଆଣ୍ଡ ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଏକ୍ଜିକ୍ୟୁଟ କରେଇ ପାରୁଥିବା ଅଛି ବୋଲିକରି ସେଠି ସେଇ ଭାବରେ ହେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ବା ହେଇପାରିବ କେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିନୁ. ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଗଲା 5 ବର୍ଷରେ ଭୁବନେଶ୍ୱର ରାସ୍ତାଘାଟର ଅବସ୍ଥା କେମିତି ସୁନ୍ଦର ଭାବରେ ବାଗେଇ ଯାଇଛି. that does not mean that peripheral Bhubaneswar is similarly connected. Similarly, এই जो accessibility of the ambulance, the cars, all those things are going to be a real challenge for the future. So again, हमको এই जो गोटे situation हला आज 10 दिन 11 दिन रे we can summarize few things, not today, but maybe Sabya, you are right on the ground force. So you can look into all the things, fake news, real news, and the real help. थोड़ा आमे डुप्लिकेट से गुडा न करके जो साइकोसोशियल हो को ट्रॉमा हो कि जो गुडा बियॉन्ड 1 month बियॉन्ड 3 months से जो लोक मानकर जो असुविधाटा होची ताकू केमते एड्रेस करि परिबा, that is a different, that's a long term project. That's also another thing to look into.
देवाशीष मु गोटे पॉजिटिव कथा कहूची जे जहाँ में प्लान करूचे, one positive thing that health and wellness group has a nucleus already put into place. Those 5 locations we're telling, already nucleus is there to do these projects. So I think it will be very helpful, and from their scratch we can expand our program.
Exactly. That is actually good. I would have maybe all this work need extreme bone paining hard work.
Yep.
We have to have a team because I am burning out, Sabyo is burning out, Nagesh is burning out, and all the other people. More back pain. So to get updates, people don't know what's happening in detail in Odisha.
I think you need counseling.
Again, loco morchanti ame kon kariya de bhai.
Yeah.
Detail, you need to know the details because someone bichara kim jani, because we are to collect the details and we connect with the members and patrons and partners. It takes time. Gote partners apun katharta karibi, it takes you 1.5 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Rati 1:30 mu soibi, and that's why I wanted to put all this thing together so that our members mane they need to know what is actually going on. And it is a very Sangita kon kochu ki
मीटिंग संध्या बेले फुर्सत नाही एटा बिजी नाही
चाली हम 7:30 रे कन्वेंशन ପାଇଁ कि गोटे मीटिंग अछि 7:30 रे. सो आपरे काम ता संगे रे फेर तापरे आपण जाननती देयर इज अ सॉफ्ट वर्क गोइंग ऑन एवरी मंथ. Our health and wellness members get request bapang deho kharab, maan ko deho kharab, and when you connect with each case, you connect with the hospital, with the doctor. Ratire kothabarta hobo kana India re sela sakala. I mean, that we never tell anybody every month, and that is how we think it's our job. It's not a voluntary work. So we would request to have sincere volunteers. You like in Nagesh Ame Kotharta Haba. For people, those who are asking, they need to step in and help. Otherwise, you good just volunteers that won't be there forever if we break down. Go ahead.
गोटे जिंस ऐड करिया पे चाहूची आमे समस्त एते पैनिक आ एते माने गोटे फोर फ्रंट रे अच्छे ट्रेन ट्रेजेडी पई बट गोटे छोटे स्टैटिस्टिक्स म आपन देबी हम ओडिसा रे 30 टा डिस्ट्रिक्ट अछि आपन जे कोन से डिस्ट्रिक्ट रो गोटे सुपरिटेंडेंट ऑफ पुलिस को फोन करंतु पचरंतु गोटे एसपी को किबा गोटे थाना रो एसी को every district is facing at least 5 to 10 casualties in road accident every day. Imagine 30 into 10 daily हमरो 100 माने 300 लोक 400 लोक कोटी 200 लोक हम स्टेट रे खाली प्रत्येक दिन मरचंदी खाली गोटे डिफरेंस कोन ना those are 100 accidents and this is one accident.
Yes.
So किंतु collectively when you calculate it is all the same. It is माने हमें से एते डिस्परेट है कि हम यहाँ पे एते कथा होचे एते डिस्कस करूचे किंतु माने प्रॉब्लम ए जो ब्लड रो ए जो ट्रॉमा केयर रो किबा मेंटल काउंसलिंग रो इटा गोटे माने एवरी डे देयर इज द रिक्वायरमेंट तो माने इनफैक्ट हमें
May I interrupt you?
Yes,
I think
yes.
you are right. Absolutely, you are right. We don't know, the public does not know what is trauma, first thing. And the physician, trauma team, even the hospital does not aware of the trauma, how to appreciate and how you're going to manage, because they don't have much experience. How are you going to manage it? I think that should be need to be training. How can you, first thing is that recently we have developed a common training program in Bangalore. How you set up a superstore, the nearby superstore, we gather some people and giving some ALS and ATLS training. And how that these people, if something accident happen in the superstore or near the roadway, how you're going to manage it. That awareness need to be developed.
Yes.
And that need to be developed.
Ajit bhai, we have you our chief consultant, but we can pay you though. Okay, we will have Ajit bhai.
No.
Ajit bhai, our chief advisor. No, he's good actually. What he said, if people don't know him, he was the chief of this critical care in UK hospital London there. Chandigarh he has worked. Already issued Delhi he has worked. So what he's telling, I don't know the depth of what he's saying, but a lot of people here may not know. But that we'll take it to the next level. We have a lot of non-medical people, so we'll take it to the next level. Ajit bhai will be in the panel. He's already there. Okay. And saying this, if there is nothing else, I also recognize Deepak. I think Deepak Sau, Ohio person, I think joined. Julie and Sanjeev Swain, they have joined, and a lot of other people have. Suchi Swain also. Suchi is our great partner, and he is helping us in teaching the CPR basic life support. Suchi, come in video. Basic life support to OSA members through OSA Health and Wellness we did last year, and this also convention we are doing. And I am also spreading her out to UK, London, Debbie. So she's going to guide our London ODA society. Reached out to me. They want to follow what we are doing. So we're going to spread and have a global ODA village, and we'll all be together. We'll be well connected. Suchi, come in the video. I would like to recognize you. Where are you?
Namaskar.
Namaskar. Very good. The screen. I was busy in talking, but we appreciate your effort. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Wrap up Nagesh but I thank all those members, all attendees from everywhere, ODS, OSA members, OSA Health and Wellness member, our senior members, our mentors and partners, and everybody. Thanks from the core of my heart, and thanks Elena. And we miss Archita. She's always a permanent fixture in our event, and we are missing her.
Yes, she's traveling.
Sophia, Elena, if you can stay back for 2 minutes after the call is over. But yes, thank you so much. We can start closing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Aji kichi nahi ame
Thank
rahba ke health and wellness group take stay back. We want to discuss, summarize the bullet points, and Sabya, Elena can say as Nagesh said, and let's close it up. And Arjun bhai, apan ko ame will reach out. Okay, we'll reach out. Ame summarize kari ki nahi psychological training aspect re we will reach out to you soon.